Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's Xbox Nation time. It's Wednesday night. The World Series is on. We're watching the Cubs take the World Series for the first time in 108 years.
Let's go Mets.
Oh, Mets are.
Oh, I'm sorry. My fault.
Is this a sports podcast? Because if so, I'm leaving now.
It's a gay sports. No, it's a gaming podcast, and we are all here to talk gaming. There's a lot of cool gaming stuff to talk about. I gave everybody a pretty big list, and
of course, because we're all real Xbox fans that love Xbox.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can't get any more Xboxy than us. I mean,
No.
That's called the Xbox Nation.
Sorry, I had to say that.
Yes. I mean, forget the fact that I do got an interesting title about PS4 on the cover there, which I do actually want to talk about a little bit. Which is this was funny to me, and Mooch, I know you're probably going to think it's kind of funny. Sony had their reports, right, and they just announced that they have 47 million PS4s out. Okay, this was a month after they had just announced 40 million at the PS4 Pro event. There's some discrepancy with the bookkeeping, because I'll tell you something else. They were at 43 million 4 months prior to that event. And then they went back down to 40, and now they're up to 47. Hell, they could be up to, just in the time that we've started this, they could be up to 60 million for all we know. Right.
Well, maybe this is why Sony's doing so awful quarter after quarter. Whoever's doing their books and their math is just really wrong. Doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
They need some damn glasses or something. I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
This is what we've been saying all along, everybody. Look, you want to like us, you don't. You want to believe us, you don't. Here's the problem. Sony is smoke and mirrors, and they're full of shit. And, to come out and say that they were at 43 million before the New York event where they showed the Pro, then they said 40 at that event, and now they're at 47 million. That didn't happen. You can check any numbers. I don't give a shit. There's no, Taiwan didn't buy 6 million in 1 month. Yeah. So I don't know where in God's green earth they're coming up with these numbers.
Well, they're saying the 47 is shipped, and that the 40 was sold. So they're shipping 7 million just random. I mean, those could be anywhere. Those could be Christmas,
Christmas shipments that are going out.
I mean, what a brilliant time to do that, right? To ship off like 7 million consoles and make yourself look good, right? At an investors meeting where Sony's overall income plummeted 83%, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Their Sony profits plummet 86%. So they have that, and you think, oh, well, that's not PlayStation. PlayStation's doing great, right? They're doing grand. They're the best station and all this nonsense, right? Yeah. And then here we have that the PlayStation brand itself is down 20% year on year as well, with lower sales than projected, and they're actually lowering their projections as well. Interesting little take there. I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on this? I mean, the roses are always red when it comes to Sony, and here they are saying 20% decrease year on year, and just shipping off. Hey, man, if I'm Microsoft, why not ship off 15 million Xbox Ones, right?
Yeah, why not? Like, that's going to be the design for the next 2 years at least. So it's not like they're going to be wasted. Ship them out.
Yeah,
go ahead. Get the Xbox up. 60 million shipped. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like for me, it's just a weird thing. Like, I think the Sony PR train and the sales and all that stuff was like running full steam like a little while ago, and then the Slim and the Pro happened, and I think they pretty much almost jumped off the cliff with their messaging right now. And coming up with this holiday, Sony fans and whatever have like so much different hardware to like think about now. They have PSVR, PS Pro, PS4 Slim. Like, there's just so much stuff going on right now, and I think that's where everybody's just like really confused about like, what am I even supposed to do right now? And the lack of first party games and all that stuff is really hurting them. And then on top of that, you have Xbox, which is really like pushing like hardcore, throwing everything in your face. It could do all this, and and I think that's where it's losing it for them.
Hey, I agree. Hellhammer, what do you think? What do you think about Sony's smoke and mirror numbers, bro?
Sony's been doing the smoke and mirror numbers forever.
Are you suggesting that Sony is dishonest in any way?
Oh, well, we already know that.
very, very much so, actually.
I mean, we already know that they were using the ship numbers during PS3 to try to keep up with 360, and now they're basically kind of doing the same thing now.
And are you suggesting that they lied about the PS3's capabilities of running 120 frames per second?
I heard they got some leaked emails as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, 120 frames per second. I mean, you see it today.
Are you trying to tell me that PSN isn't secure, sir?
I mean, I would trust my social security number on it.
Oh, well, I don't think anybody would blame you. What about you, She-Wolf? I know you like talking hardware and numbers. What is your thoughts on this shady Sony situation?
Wow, I need some like sound effects just to like sound like crap or something. I don't know.
We're
Because I just
hard-hitting on Crapgamer reviews. And that rhymes, and you know it rhymes.
I don't know. I'm not surprised, but at the same time, who really officially knows numbers? Like, do we ever really officially get real numbers, regardless whether it's Sony or any other company? Like, these numbers are usually based on data and information that they're trying to pull, but it's never ever officially the actual like underlying amount, I guess you can say, because let's be honest, when it comes down to it, they're not pulling the data from everywhere. They're just pulling a high number that sounds better than what could actually be the bottom line number. And so I don't know.
8.4 T-flops.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's just think it's all.
That's a good point that GKB just said and what she was saying. Let me put all of this together between what the panel just said. So 43 down to 40, up to 47, 8.4 T-flops. Revenues down over the quarter by 80-something%.
86% for Sony as a company, 20% for PlayStation specifically.
Okay, 20% for PlayStation. PSN has been, I don't want to use the word hack, but something happened again where people are using other people's accounts. This is all going on, and guess what, everybody who's in the audience? You're hearing it here first, because the gaming media is not talking about it. Nobody's talking about any of this. But when Microsoft was like $5 short in the register a couple of years ago, they were all over it. Microsoft bankrupt. They're not going to keep Xbox. They're selling the division. I think McDonald's is buying Xbox.
It's Amazon. Amazon's buying Xbox.
It didn't matter, crap. It could have been anybody. It could have been Foot Locker. Anybody was buying Xbox, okay?
Yeah, get yourself a free Xbox with a pair of shoes.
With your Nikes.
Hi, this is IGN reporting from Under Armour. We've just realized that the Under Armour logo looks just like an X. Something's up. We'll be back. Take it away, Ryan. I mean, this is what was going on. Meanwhile, Sony's in actual trouble, and nobody's saying anything. You know why? You said it best. Roses are red. Everything's fantastic over at Sony. Don't worry about it, everybody. You've got a Pro coming out with no games, nothing enhanced to it.
Hey, you know what I've noticed about that Pro? Everybody and their mother in the media got one. They're showing their pictures. Thank you, Sony, for sending us a PS4 Pro. We love it. Look what IGN got. Look what IGN got. Look what Nerdist got. Look what GameSpot got. Look what this person got. Everybody and their damn mother got a PS4 Pro. You know what I mean? So
I didn't see anybody. Who the?
Was
it? IGN?
Oh, IGN, Nerdist.
Okay.
Yeah, all those places got their PS4 Pro. I'm sure Boogie and Angry Joe have their Pro, and it's going to be all fantastical, great, and they're going to be able to see that checkerboarding is no different than the real thing, because guess what? Apparently, the human eye can't see 4K anyway, so checkerboarding is all the rage, and that's all you need. So
yeah, it's asinine. It's absolutely asinine. Like I said, I think a lot of people tune into crap. Myself, Console Corner, just for some news, because to be honest with you, you're not getting it anyway. If you don't follow us on Twitter, you got to pay attention to this, because when you tune in, all you're going to see is Naomi Kyle rehashes her experiences with Dishonored today at 1:00. Who gives a shit? That's what they did, honestly. I actually wish I made that up. She played 3.5 hours of Dishonored. I think it was on PS4.
Hey, she did a good. She dressed as what for Halloween?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Harley Quinn.
Who did?
Shocker.
The IGN girl.
Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, and I called it.
Everybody in their.
Yes.
Well, I didn't dress up as Harley Quinn, so.
Yeah, I know.
I think everyone else in there.
And I gotta say that Console Corner. Well, you know what? I skipped over introductions, but you guys all know the crew. It's the Governor, GKB. What's up?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
And you dressed like the governor for Halloween. Which
That was a
pretty
great.
cool.
I thought he was just gonna put the patch. He did the hardcore governor right after he got stabbed in the eye by Michonne.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
He had like a blood spot there and everything. It was pretty cool. And then
I was poking at it.
Yeah, it was fun. And She-Wolf, you dressed up too. You were a busted doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Broken. I don't know. I mean, yeah. And then you even had like Fox dressing up as well. And
I know
awesome.
she was like this cool looking fox thing, like a Buki fox or something. She called it.
You know, we don't have to talk about the results, but I will say, She-Wolf. So I saw you guys put the poll out for the vote, right? And then I realized that you guys are actually going to draw a winner sometime in 2019. What's with that time? It's not going to move anymore.
Wait a minute. I don't care. It ends on Sunday, so.
All right.
So the early voters are in right now, Mooch.
Yeah.
Those ones that are on the fence.
Anybody who doesn't rhyme with roof rookum, don't get too excited.
Look at it this way. Look at it. Hold on. This is my whole theory to it. This allows anybody to turn around and say, make fake accounts so that they can go vote for themselves to try to get their polls up. Because
okay, I got so excited. I'm like, hey, that's great. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm like, 24 hours. Wait a minute. 187 hours?
Yeah, it's still Sunday.
And I was like, wait, Noof got to 59%. He's at 59.1 like 16 hours later. Like nothing's happened.
Well, we gotta.
He's got the popular vote, bro. We need the electorals. Come on, man.
Yeah, we gotta try to get like other people in there because try to maybe give a chance to these other guys.
I know. I know you guys had to defend it, and I don't blame you. You're doing a great job defending it. But coming from the voting side, that's like if you guys go to vote for the president next Tuesday, they're like, "We'll let you know in February. Everybody, go home and eat something."
Yeah, You know what was funny was Noof was hilarious. I didn't even know it was him. He had an Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That was awesome.
And he was talking like Arnold. He's like, get to the chopper. And I was like, dead on.
I was so happy he dressed up, but he couldn't get the mic working over the mask, so he sounded a little blurry.
Brutal had me pissing my pants because he kept looking at you guys, and I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Like, this dude must be drunk.
He was actually going to wear a PlayStation shirt, but he didn't know if I'd be okay with it, I guess, or something, and I was like, you should have. It would have just went with the whole thing. I'm like, you should have just done it.
Yeah,
and they didn't want to tell me. They were so mean. GKB and freaking Brutal wouldn't tell me what he was doing, and they should have. Because they should have told me, because then I would have at least said go for the T-shirt. But no, they didn't. They decided to think that I was going to hate on it. So.
Oh, he should have wore them. He should have been the pony.
Yeah,
he should have had like a cast.
My Little Pony.
He should have like wrapped up his arm in a cast because he had got his pony leg broken. That's what I mean. If you're gonna go in, you might as well go all in.
What would have been funnier is our daughter dressed up as My Little Pony last year. I should have just gave him that costume. Yeah, it had like the long pink wig with like the little ears and the little wings and everything, and then done like the tied up arm and stuff. It would have been funny.
That would have been hilarious, and man, that would have been great.
So who was Fox? What was Fox's outfit?
She was what the heck she call it? It was a fox mask, but like a kabuki or some other
kabuki.
There you go. Yeah,
kabuki
fox mask.
Yeah, a kabuki fox mask. He was one of the one of the Ronin or something. I wanted to be Ishii, but they made me be Ori. Never mind. Hellheimer will get that joke, but nobody else will. Okay, so moving on. Xbox One wins back-to-back months in the UK, beating the PS4 by 25,000. The reason why this is big is because they haven't won back-to-back in the UK before, exactly. And this is really big. 25,000 is no joke. You know what I mean? That's a huge number, and I know you guys like sales or whatever, but it's like for me, Xbox has to do good because you want it to carry on. I don't care if you're like, so that's why it's worth talking about. You know what I mean? Like this is a huge comeback. The fact that they're winning any months in the UK or the US, which the US will be back to back after this October. I already got my mayonnaise ready. It's getting all gross for everybody. Yeah. So you guys will have to put it. Hell yeah. So I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, it's doing good. And remember, Mooch, we've all talked about it. The two main. I mean, it's great that they're going to do good in Brazil. Like I love that place. I got a lot of followers there. Like Brazil, Mexico, all these great places. I'm not discounting your guys' buying it. Good job, great job, love you guys. Como estás? But
I have to say this just because this is hilarious because of the whole costume thing. This art guy in the chat said that he painted himself blue like Cortana, but everyone thought he was just a retarded Smurf.
Hey, was that Noof Nukem? Because that sounds like one of his jokes.
No, it's Art. His name is Art. But I just thought it was hilarious when I read it, so I had to shout it out. It was just funny.
No, there's a lot of the markets crap. You got Australia, Brazil, Mexico, Canada, UK, US. I mean, really, that's pretty much all you need. You win those areas, and you're definitely content in the Microsoft
in particular,
camp.
UK and the US.
Absolutely,
those are really big markets, and the fact that they're winning
Brazil's
these
pretty big, but
yes, and there's a lot of Brazilian fans. Like I didn't realize that, but then I checked my analytics, and it's like I got quite a few people from Brazil that'll message me and that watch my videos and stuff. Like it's pretty big there. So that's really cool. So, I mean, what's your guys' thoughts? 25,000 is pretty significant because when Sony was winning, they were winning by, 5, 6, 7,000, 10,000 maybe.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the fact that Microsoft barely beat them in the UK last month, and in this month absolutely destroyed them. I mean, that's huge. Come on, guys.
It is.
Go ahead, Rich.
No, I was gonna say it is. It's a big deal. I mean, listen, they're gonna win. They're gonna win October. We know that. You light a match and stomp your feet if you win November and December, or at least December. We all saw those big ads that are already coming. I love how Christmas has already begun as of November 1st. But anyway, Black Friday deals are already announced. I believe you get an Xbox One S with Gears of War and another very crucial game.
Like you're
what is it?
You're jumping ahead to the Black
Friday
stuff.
Yeah. Well, it all ties in, crap, because to be honest with you, that Black Friday deal is Microsoft's answer to the Pro.
Yeah, okay? I got you. But here's the deal. There's multiple places. Like there's the one at Dell that is an Xbox One S, the Battlefield Xbox One S with Gears of War 4 and an extra controller for $249.
Yes,
awesome.
That was it. The extra controller. Thank you.
Yes.
Which, listen, what's funny? A lot of people don't bring this up anymore, and now I'm going to show the old 1980s coming out here. But back in the day,
it's our time.
It's our time down here. Okay?
Down here.
But realistically, 2 controllers in the box was a necessity when we were kids. Now absolutely. Nintendo, courage, #courage, took 1 controller out many moons ago. And it's the rest is history. So to come home, if you're a parent and you have, even if you have 3 kids, you still want 2 controllers at least, right? To get 2 controllers, a game in the box, that's huge. And $250? Come on.
That's an incredible deal. That's an amazing deal. Like GKB, She-Wolf, how many more Xbox Ones are you guys buying this holiday, right? I mean, that deal.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I want the blue one though.
Oh, there you go. She-Wolf wants the blue one. You heard her.
I'm not going to get it though because I have the white one. And I don't want to trade that one in because it's like 2 terabyte one.
I think everybody should have multiple Xbox Ones. We all, as Xbox fans, because we support the brand. Like how many?
We already have 4 of them.
I know, but look, you got to keep up with Tim Dog, right?
What's a couple
Tim
more?
Dog's got like 10 of them. Yeah, right. I mean,
I think really you should have at least 2 to 3 more.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah. Don't you support Xbox? Aren't we Xbox Nation?
Hell yeah. But it's going back to the topic that you were talking about with the sales and all that stuff in the UK and everything like that. And I think I don't really get into the whole sales thing. I don't really care about the sales stuff, but going back to like when Phil took over, I think that's when everything started. Their messaging and stuff. They were trying to get through all that kind of things. But when it came to E3, of this year, they kind of had a rebranding and almost like a relaunch of the Xbox One, and they hit on everything that people have been talking about that they want to change in the Xbox. And I think that's what started the momentum going forward with all the sales and now all the MPD wins, and probably the next couple months they'll probably win those too. So I mean, it's great to see. Like you could talk about like you hate Xbox or you hate PlayStation and this, that, and the other, but when it comes down to it, we want both these companies to do well because it's better for the gamers at the end. Like we want all games, we want better features. That's what we want. So we need them both to be competitive. So
yeah, that what, GKB, you make a great point, and you're like the quiet beetle of the group because you
He's Ringo.
Yes, yeah. Well, no, George was the quiet one.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, don't insult him. Come on.
Sorry.
Oh my
God.
So you make a great point here. You make a lot of really great points, and that is I like a lot of people will give the impression that I hate Sony or that Mooch hates Sony. You know what I mean? But that's not the case, as we both have PlayStations and we both understand that you need both of these companies competing, and you need Nintendo in there too to switch things up. Switch things up a bit.
I see what you did there.
I don't know. I'm not good at the damn thing, but yeah. So you need these two companies competing with each other. If Sony hadn't come out and really taken advantage of what Microsoft did at the launch, then we wouldn't have the great console that we have now. You know, and we wouldn't have the games that we have now. And you know what I mean? And hopefully that push that Microsoft has with their comeback, the greatest comeback in the history of video games. And I was the first one preaching this like over a year ago. You know, if you didn't have that, then maybe that'll help Sony get off their ass and actually do something. Because so far this generation, and people are like, why you always hate on Sony? Why are you so negative around Sony? Crap, why do you talk so bad about Sony? You hurt their feelings. You hurt Sony's feelings. And I think, you know what? Shut up. First of all, that's what I say. And second of all, I say, you know what? I'm a fucking consumer. I've bought a PlayStation 4 and I've got 9 damn games. They are the ones that let me down. I have every right in the world to be pissed off and express that however I want. This is an open medium. This is an open forum. You don't like it, then don't fucking watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. If anybody, this goes for anybody in the chat because I'm enjoying it. I love that block button. Yeah, you know, if you don't want to listen to us, like, honestly, get the fuck out of here. I got to be honest with you. I don't give a shit. Like, all these people, everything is an open forum, right? Everything's public. Everything's open. But the door's open for you to come in and get the fuck out. Like, it doesn't matter. Same thing goes for, like, Twitter. You don't like what we have to say? Block and get the fuck out. Like, nobody cares. Like, we don't. The minute I see somebody I don't care about, you're blocked.
Yeah, I don't understand why people get drawn in. I don't like these people. Let me go.
I don't like
Let me go watch their videos. Let me follow them around on social media.
Everyone's got something they don't like. Some people don't like Chick-fil-A. Some people don't like McDonald's. I don't like fucking. I don't like Wendy's. I don't go there. I don't walk in and tell them I don't like them. What can I do for you, sir? I hate you.
I'm never eating here.
I hate you and your fucking
food sucks.
I hate the fry container you give. All right, are you gonna order anything? No. I just fucking hate you. Get out. You know, it's like, it's unbelievable. It's the same insanity that goes on here. But yeah, no, so far the chat's been awesome, but got to exercise get the pointer finger going with a little block
Go
action.
ban hammer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, oh yeah, because look, at the end of the day, and look, maybe Crap's a little bit in your face today. You guys might have noticed that. I don't know. But yeah, that's just, you know, how it is. Sometimes you just reach that point to where you're like, you don't understand people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go to these to places that I don't like, but I don't sit there and tell on them and say, hey, I'm not going there. I don't watch this. I just do what I want to. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's optional stuff. Like, I'll never understand why people feel compelled. Like, maybe it's because I have self-control, and it's funny hearing a 300+ pound guy say he's got self-control. But a lot of people are like, hey, Crap, how come you have you seen this about you? Have you seen that? And I'm like, no, I ain't never watched any of that shit. My brother has, because he's, I don't know, but because he likes.
I still don't know why you accepted that award, man.
I never accepted any goddamn award. But anyway,
looked awful not like you.
Don't make me mute your mic, Hellhammer, because I'll do it. I swear. Phil Spencer says right now VR sucks. Basically, that's a paraphrase, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me say this, Crap, because you're a big component of saying I said this first. One of my claim to fames is, it's not ready yet. I keep saying it over and over again. VR is not ready yet. Mooch, you're a hater. You hate Sony. You hate everything Sony.
You hate VR, Mooch.
You hate VR. 5 weeks later, Phil Spencer says, VR's not ready yet. Phil, you speak nothing but the truth. And I'm like, wait a minute. What? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong. I do agree with Phil. Phil is right. It's not ready yet. It's not. And that's why Phil made a comment, I think, a year and a half ago, when someone said, are you going to come out with your, peripheral, you're this or you're that? And he was like, no, we're not doing that for Xbox One. And at the time, we didn't know there was an S in the mix. But he has no intentions for this particular generation that's existing today to have a headset. Now, Scorpio moving forward, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's when we'll get to where things are ready. I've been saying it since like way before PSVR came out. All VR right now is you put it on, yes, you're somewhere else. But the game is pick this can up and put it into the cylinder-shaped hole over here. It's no more than we were doing when we were like 6 months old. You know, putting the fucking toy into the right shape. It's just a stupid, gimmicky little demo thing. And people, like, you know, only the diehard Sony fans or people with just expendable cash that want to yell at us that go out and get it. Like, look, I told you, Mooch, I would buy it. Now I look like an astronaut in my house for the next 20 minutes.
And now you don't hear anybody talking about it as the funny thing. But
it's dead.
I will kind of reiterate what Phil said. He says right now it's all demos and experiments. And he also mentioned one of our biggest complaints, which was he doesn't think that VR works when you have like big bulky wires coming out of your headset and stuff like that. Like, he basically said everything we've said. You know what I mean? And he said that when it's not that and it's an actual game, that'll be because he reiterated that Xbox Scorpio is VR ready, high-end VR ready, and that he has an Oculus and a Vive, and that he's played PlayStation VR, but that he just feels like it's not there yet. And I agree. Look, when you hear this stuff, you know. Like, remember a long time ago when this got one of those Project Morpheus, Mooch, and we did BGST, and Zaire was like, dog, I'm going to get it because I'm going to look down, I'm going to be Kratos, dog. And I'm like, and I'm like, dude, it's not like that. You have to build the game from the ground up. Not every game that's already out is going to be, VR. And so he's like, oh, really? So yeah, now you realize that. But it would be cool if you, and it doesn't have to be like a main Halo game or a main Gears game, but they could do like a specific VR Halo game. I think everybody would love to be like Master Chief or something, right? I mean, in a virtual reality, that's what I would be.
Well, they have like the AR where, like, if you want to get more advanced right now, the AR is more along those lines, because look at the demo that they had for where you could actually walk around in the Halo world and stuff like that. The demo that they showed for that, and the Minecraft demo and everything they showed for the AR. But for the VR right now, it's just too early. When I think of VR, the most I would maybe want to do personally, like this is my own personal opinion on it, would be to like lay back and watch a movie like that. Like I wouldn't want to constantly be trying to move around with cords all around me and possibly falling. And, you know, they still haven't really figured out the best way. And I know people are going to disagree with me on this, and that's fine. But the whole idea of interacting with your friends while they're here, like in the same facility, is not the same, like at all, because, you know, they're trying to say like, yeah, well, they're watching what you're doing. Well, that's fine, but they can sit there and like poke you or lick you or whatever, and you have no idea what the hell they're doing to you.
Yeah,
like they're laughing at you. Let's be honest, it would become more of a joke, or you'd become more of a joke than them interacting with you and the game. Yeah. And I think they need to still focus on how to actually bring, if that's going to be one of their main like point of views for something like this, would be to actually figure a way to actually have everyone else interact in a way that it actually makes sense, instead of just they're watching you or they have a controller.
I'm going to get deep here for a second. So here's my whole rationale with the gaming media's spin on VR to try and feed it to you guys in a commercial light. We are everybody's so bored these days, right? Like everybody is so, the slogan a couple years ago is what have you done for me lately? Meaning like, you know, your sports teams used to say that, but look at even games, okay? Everyone's like, oh my God, like Forza's amazing. 8 days later, fuck Forza. Gears is amazing. Fuck Gears. Like 3 people were like, Titanfall 2 is amazing. And it was like, and then like in 3 days from now, everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, Call of Duty. I've never seen such great Call of Duty. Like, my point being is everybody gets bored in like a half an hour.
Nobody's seen a great Call of Duty game in years.
Well, whatever. They're still going to say it for 24 to 48 hours, but you're right, crap. But my point being is like, the media is like so bored. Everyone's so bored with everything now that they see this VR and they're like, Mooch, Crab, anybody, how can you diss it? It's something different. Something different doesn't mean it's good. It just means it's something different, and it's not ready yet. It's not ready. It's different, but it's not worth my money, my time, or the experience that's currently up for grabs. And, you know, that's the problem is I think we as a people, okay, this isn't a U.S. thing, and maybe it is more of a U.S. thing. You know, I think a lot of people who I talk to are in Europe and in other parts of the world, they're like, I've been to the United States, and you guys don't know how lucky you are. You have a lot of everything there. We have so much stuff here. Like, you don't have to hunt. You don't have to do this. You don't have to build this. You don't have to worry about a fire. Everything's in aisle 9 at your local grocery store nowadays, right? Yes. So, like, we have everything at our fingertips. So everybody gets bored. Like I said, we use the same joke, but we have to stop just using it as a punchline and think about what we're saying. When we were all younger, everybody on this podcast, I don't care if we're separated by a couple of years. Hear me out. Like, everyone, when we were younger, we played a game for like 6 to 8 months to a year, maybe a year and a half, and you played it until you knew where every fucking inch of any secret was, and blah, 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 blah. Someone said to you, how many times did you beat that? You're like, I've beaten this thing 3 times. Now people are like, hey, did you even beat that? And you're like, nah, I got to like Act 2, but Gears came out, so I just fucking threw that thing as a coaster somewhere else. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, we have so much time on our hands. And that's why I think people were pushing VR. They're pushing it on you because it's the new thing, and you're going to get bored of it. Trust me, if a game is in depth as Forza, okay, or a game is in depth as Gears, like some asshat in the chat earlier was like, crap, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you saw him, crap. He's like, got beat Gears of War in 6 hours flat. What a piece of shit. I've got over 65 hours in the Gears 4, you idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, play the game. The game has more than just, just the campaign on easy.
Yeah, I guess if you just played through it on easy and just like ran through it, I mean, I guess. But it's like the first years, I remember beating that in like 4 hours. But I remember thinking this is one of the best experiences I've ever had. And then the multiplayer is really what those games are made for. You know what I mean? It's like complaining about, even though I did it, a Call of Duty campaign or something. You know what I mean? Like those things are like these action-packed 4 or 5 hour experiences. And then the meat of the game is the multiplayer. I mean,
you can go ahead, Crap.
I was just going to say, and so it doesn't really make sense to complain about that. You know what I mean? Like honestly, because if you look at a game like, say, nobody ever really complained about God of War, right? But those games were relatively short. You know what I mean? Like 8, 6, 7, 8 hours, depending on the game. But everybody loved those, apparently. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's such a double standard.
It's part of the problem because of the fact of how many games they're bringing out at once that everyone assumes that they have to beat it so quick. And that's like the only way they're going to pretty much like it's pretty much about like getting achievements. Who can beat it the fastest now? Because let's be honest, so many people try to beat things so fast so that they get their names from the developers on Twitter or something like that. And they don't really sit and focus on a game anymore because of that. And I think that causes the issue where even VR, like I guess that's to one point to where because the demos are so short that it would give that whole quick play kind of feel. And I think that's what Sony is trying to idealize around this is that like, hey, we're going to give you a 15-minute try or demo and, you're done and you can move on to the next thing. And I think they're trying to think that that's what's going to succeed in this when in reality, I guess when you look at other games, people tend to just like play them, but then they keep them and play them again. So
I don't know. I have to disagree with you there a little bit, She-Wolf, because first off, like Phil Spencer, kudos to you. You finally came out and said stuff that we've been saying on podcasts all along. It's not ready. It's too early. And honestly, I don't even think it's going to get there at this point. And for the reason that She-Wolf was stating there is, they have these demos and everything. There's no killer app. And I know, killer apps might be dead and this, that, and the other, but there's no good games or anything on it to push it to gamers and stuff like that. And, I hear this buzzwords about it. It's an experience. It's an experience. So is taking a shit. So is climbing Mount Everest. Like I said before, like get over that shit. Like it's not an experience that is in any length, worth anything right now. So Phil is looking at all his analytics, all his people telling him all this stuff too. There's no games out there. And I think he feels right now he doesn't want to give people a piece of hardware that they're going to have to spend hundreds of dollars in, maybe lose support in a year or two, not have anything to play right now. Like that's not good for any of us. And I really think he sees HoloLens because he works at Microsoft and he's part of that whole thing. I think he sees HoloLens, and I think AR is actually the next thing, not VR.
Yeah, you're George Harrison now. Anyway, hold on, Hellhammer. I'll let you talk in a second. Like you really nailed it because like he's actually doing people a service, right? By not putting out something or wasting a lot of money on this, you can focus money and resources elsewhere. Where you look at Sony, and they realistically, the only games they have this holiday are VR games. And imagine if they had no VR
experiences.
Yes, that time, effort, and money could be in first-party games. I would love for there to be a first-party PlayStation game this holiday because I would get it. You know what I mean? Look, I'm going to get Horizon Zero Dawn early next year. I want games. I bought a damn PlayStation. I want games.
That'll be the first time in a decade I will also be purchasing Horizon first day. I'll also be purchasing a lot of Red Bull.
Yes.
That game's gonna put me to fucking sleep, but I'm gonna buy it anyways.
Be optimistic, Mooch. We can't be haters.
I'm not. Listen, it's not being. That's what's funny. Why isn't anybody else that's an analyst or so? I've been playing games since the early '80s. I know what these games are. You can see them. When you see that Sony's now had 2 Horizon 20-minute behind the scenes things they've done on YouTube with the developer. And they don't even show anything except for the girl walk up to the side of a cliff, and there's the grass blowing. She gets into one fight with one creature, and then she just walks for another 6 minutes, and then there's another little creature. Like, it's not that exciting. I'm not saying the game's going to be bad. I don't know yet, but it's not going to be very exciting. But, it kind of it kills me when we were going back to, play the game, people. Play the game. Listen, you could take a book. You could read the summary in the beginning, the first 2 pages, and the last 2 pages, and then if some idiot walked up to you and was like, so what's it about? You can pretty much give the gist, but you miss the 150 pages in the middle. And that's what these people do. People go out, they buy a video game, you see it on your timeline. Like, on launch night at midnight, I see everyone kick on, and then at 8 in the morning, it's like everyone's showing their achievement. Beat the game already. Congratulations, your mooch muffin's in the mail. What the fuck do you want? Calm down for a minute, will you? Breathe. Take a fucking break. Have a cup of coffee. Take a nap. I don't know what the fuck you got to do. Go to work. I don't know what's happening with people. Everyone gets a game, and they got to beat it in 5 minutes flat. And then people always ask me, they're like, yo, dude, did you beat Gears yet? No, it came out less than a week ago. Can I fucking live? What are we doing?
Breathe a little bit, guys.
Jeez, there's other games to play. I have a family. I have a house to maintain. I have to go to work. Some people are like, what is this? What is this work you speak of? But it's but anyways, it's all this nonsense. It's calm down. The Sony numbnuts that keep bothering everybody all the time. They're all mainly I've always said. Remember, I say this a lot of crap before on BGST. They're between 16 and 21, or they're 25 to 30 and unemployed. That's why they don't buy any games. They don't support Sony. People make fun of Microsoft games. They're like, well, Record didn't sell well. Well, except for Bloodborne, what the hell sold well? And you can't say Uncharted, and we'll knock Halo out, too. We won't use the top dogs, right? We won't use the top dogs. The Order didn't kill. That's not in the Guinness World Book of Records.
Killed for sure.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's Ratchet and Clank sold, what, 1 million because of nostalgia? And once it hit 1 million, it, locked up and froze right there.
Did they even say it sold 1 million?
You know what, crap? I'll give them 1 million. I'll give them 1 million. Okay. Who gives, but you know what I mean? But you're right. No, your question's
valid.
It's
a good game. It is. It's what it is. $40. You know what I mean? I put it in the same vein as Recore, a $40 budget.
It's all nostalgia crap. Yeah. It's a great game from way back in the day. Pac-Man's good too. Hubert was awesome. There's a lot of great games that were good back in the day. You give them a facelift, and you can't mock them. They're classics, and Ratchet and Clank is a classic.
Yeah.
But I want to wait till. Are you doing a Titanfall segment, or are you not?
Yeah, we are. I got the whole Titanfall.
Because I just have a. When we get there, I have a question for you, crap.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, props to whatever we were just talking about, because I totally spaced
I apologize. Out. Mooch rant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spaced out there too for a minute.
There's no Xbox Nation without a mooch rant.
Okay. Yes, exactly, and it's so mooch ranty that I lost my train of thought. So anyway, Microsoft and in particular Phil Spencer says, don't expect a new Xbox every 2 years because it wouldn't make sense to adopt the cell phone strategy as a console maker, because he said his best customer is somebody that buys an original Xbox and then buys all the software, not somebody who buys multiple pieces of hardware and not a lot of software. Well, so,
and that makes sense too, right? Because we're not looking at cell phones where you have Samsung, Apple, HTC, all these people. They're selling these phones every 2 years because that's the only thing that they're selling. They're not selling. They're not selling software. They're not selling anything else. So they're got to make their profits off of that. As far as what the industry and the phone goes, this the hardware is very little money when you sell a piece of hardware, a game console or anything. So you're gonna want that out in the market as long as possible to make as much back off of it. I mean, your software is what makes your money back.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting thing because there's a lot of people that are like, we're gonna see new PlayStations and Xboxes every 2 years, and I'm like, I don't want that.
I don't want
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. There's just
That's not going to happen anyways. Because I basically kind of, I toyed around with that idea a little bit when we were talking about that before, but it just doesn't make sense because it doesn't move fast enough on that kind of hardware to make that big of a difference. 2 years, you're not going to see a big increase or a big difference in performance in that amount of time because we're starting to plateau a little bit with with computer hardware basically is what all this stuff is.
Yeah, the reason, and I know everybody else wants to chime in on this too. I'm just going to say the reason why we're getting an Xbox Scorpio, like I think most people would be fine with Xbox One S, right? It's a really solid upgrade for a Slim or whatever, really good console. But we are hit with this 4K stuff. You can literally, I mean, it might not be a HDR TV, but you can get 4K TVs for $250, $300, $350. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is incredible prices for those, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those are much better than the 1080p ones, you know what I mean? Even,
I had a birdie tell me this a while ago, crap, and then I was watching Zair's show with D. Shout out to D. D does know what he's talking about when it comes to TVs. I appreciate his opinion. And I had a few other people because I'm interested in the OLED. This is only if you're interested in OLED. But if you
those
are
expensive.
They're expensive, but I would also recommend, it's been very highly recommended to me to wait till next year. The word on the street is the processor coming out in the OLEDs next year are way, way, way more superior for gaming. It's going to reduce the input lag by a shitload. So if you're just looking to go out and get a really nice 8000 KS, 8500, 9000, 9500 Samsung, go get it. They're going to be great prices for that. And those are all 4K HDR ready to go. But if you're not in that market, you're in the OLED, I would say, because crap's right, they are expensive. If you're going to put that kind of money out of pocket, you do want to make sure that almost every category in that Excel spreadsheet works for you. That means an input lag's a big one.
Input lag's going to be the big one. I mean, as it sits right now, you're not going to see a big move in tech as far as, you're going to see more and more stuff with less input lag and that sort of thing. But more of the moves right now for anything 4K is to get it more consumer friendly for the pricing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can literally walk into any Walmart right now and walk out with a 4K TV for $350 or even less.
Yeah,
I agree with a lot of Hellhammer's points too. Like, it takes a lot to design and manufacture like these new consoles, and they need to make their money up, some way somehow. So if they're kind of like constantly doing these, every 2 years, they're gonna be losing money at that point. Also, like what Hellhammer was saying about like the plateau with hardware, as you've seen from like the 360, to the Xbox One S and PS3 to the PS4, there wasn't really a big technical jump. That everybody's been stating. Where's all the games? It doesn't seem that much better, and you're gonna see that less and less with each generation. So the further they push that along, the better it is. It's better for the consumer, better for the gamers, and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, agreed. She-Wolf, you haven't chimed in. What do you think? You don't want to be buying a new Xbox every 2 years? That doesn't sound appealing?
I buy one every couple months. It seems like
we all got to be like Tim Dog and Zaire. Hey, I got this Xbox One. It fell off a truck. What?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have much of an opinion for this. Like, you guys pretty much covered all of it. Yeah. And about like the gist of how, it all comes out to sound. It's hardware. It's me and hardware. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
It's the yin to the yang. You know what I mean? You can't. I mean, it's it's like saying I really, really love this car. This car's really great, but I don't need a steering wheel. Fuck the steering wheel. I mean, you need it. You gotta have the hardware. It's
my favorite car is a Bugatti Veyron, but I don't know how I don't know how to drive it. I don't know how to what's in it. I don't know, but it's still my favorite car.
Hey, I love the salty Sony fanboys in the chat. Don't ever change. I love you guys. You guys are great. Because you know why? Because they're back onto the resolution thing. Because apparently the Titanfall resolution can sometimes dip below 720p, right?
Yeah.
But the frame rate is rock solid 60. But because it'll dip sometimes below 720p, they're like flipping out. And I'm like, hey, you PlayStation ponies, you guys need to hop off the resolution train because there's a little something coming and it has a little stinger. and it stings. You know what I mean? It's called Scorpio. So I mean, you might as well be like the rest of the PS4 fans and the media with their heads in their goddamn sand, pretending like resolution doesn't matter now. Like you should jump on that train.
Because
right
if
now.
you got, they were all complaining about a couple hundred pixels here or there, being like, oh my god, it's the end of the fucking world. And now they're like, oh well, 2,000 pixel difference isn't that big of a difference.
Yeah, and it's gonna be it's a huge difference. Yeah, it's a huge difference. So you Sony fanboys enjoy it, but again, I would hop on. Like you notice that the media is not really talking resolution anymore, right?
No,
like where's the IGN article about dropping below 720p or any, you're not seeing that. Why? No. Because they know why. Because they can't talk about this stuff when the Scorpio's released, and it pains them in their heart of hearts that they can't have poor Sony with an advantage.
I know.
For the Xbox games. Doesn't that really suck, guys? I mean,
I lose sleep over it nightly, crap.
Yeah,
I know, right? They want all those, all that marketing money too to go on their sites as well. So.
Yeah, this is true. You get, I mean, everybody already is, like I said, already has their PS4 Pro out and all that stuff. So, I mean,
PS4 Pro.
I would be surprised. I mean, I would be careful, like, listen for the distance for the fire engines, man, with them PS4 Pros. I'm just saying,
don't leave it on and run to the grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. But winter is coming. So,
hey, just overclocking old CPUs is great, though. I mean, come on. I mean, these people who are going out and buying new computers and stuff, just run an overclock on it. You'll be good. Just keep the stock cooler on there. You'll be good to go.
Yeah, whatever it is you said. I mean, I'm not a tech expert, Hellhammer, but that sounds pretty damn good. I want to talk about Gears of War 4 real quick because this is something that bugs me. It's actually a complaint. These damn microtransactions on this thing. Like at first,
buy those packs.
At first, it didn't bother. It's not just the packs, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this a little bit.
So now they're like, play as these two rappers that I never heard of, like Smoke the Jewels or something. I don't know.
Smoke and Jewel or something. I don't know.
I don't know what the hell they are, but I'm like, okay, so these rappers get in the game, right? So if you have the season pass, like you should be able to play, right? No, you have to pay $20 to play as these guys, right? Like to me, their season pass is the worst deal ever. They shouldn't even have done it because everybody can play on the maps. You know what I mean? The only thing the season pass seems to get you for $40 or $50 or whatever it is the ability to do private matches on those maps, which is a ripoff.
Yep.
Right. Well, so I actually feel, and look, this does not affect the gameplay. The game itself is great campaign, great multiplayer. This is just like stuff that doesn't really actually affect it. But then, like, they even did that Halloween thing, like spend $5. You can't use, like, it would be one thing if they let you use in-game like money to buy these packs, but like the Halloween ones and stuff, you couldn't. You just had to pay $5. That was the only way you could do it.
That was the only way to get it. And you know what the problem is this, right? Like they took away the options basically. They make you buy these packs. If you want a specific skin or something like that, then most of the time you're getting a little bit back in order to create the actual skin you want. It ends up costing you like $40 to build a skin if you actually just want to just have it right off the bat. You'd have to sit there and buy packs.
Here's my shtick. First of all, I'm 110% behind what Crap's saying. I didn't make a big thing of it at first, but it's getting a little absurd. I mean, you're talking about, like you just said, $40 for like half of a package or maybe the entire like skin that you want. I mean, make it $2.99, $4.99. $6.99.
Yeah,
and you wouldn't hear me squawk because
if you could buy the skin outright, that's what I was looking for, right? Like the packs are cool because you could buy it, but it's random stuff, and I get some people like that kind of thing. But give me the option to go spend $6 or $7 if I want the skin. I mean, I'm not opposed to necessarily doing that if I like it enough.
Yeah. I mean, let me see here. While you guys are talking, I'm just going to go in and see how many hours Crap. Remember weeks ago or a week ago, we had a conversation where we said, I think I'm at I want to say like right around 65 hours played in Gears. I still don't have enough tokens to buy a fucking scarf. I mean, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I mean,
basically after 300 hours, you either get the fake mustache or the mustache comb.
Yeah,
who wants a mustache ride?
Yes, go ahead, GKB.
Like for me, like when it comes to DLC and season passes, I think if you are going to pay into the season pass, you get everything for that year, no matter what the hell it is. It should be in there. Like, that needs to change for every game going forward. As far as like DLC, how they want to charge for anything else, really, I don't really care as long as it doesn't break the game or it's pay to win. As far as that goes, but I'm really on board with like what Crap was saying about the season pass. If you're paying into that, you get everything for that year, period, end of story.
Now, I will say though that I did read an article earlier today.
I don't mean to cut you off, but Mooch has played for 2 days, 7 hours, and 42 minutes.
Yeah,
Jesus.
So I'm at I'm
That's
a little
pretty
under
good clip.
Yeah, just under. It says 55 hours on my app. Whatever. The point's irrelevant.
Play games.
Yeah, right. So I mean, like I'm playing the game to death, and well, as much as I think I can, and like you said, I don't have enough of those. I don't have enough of the coin to actually get anything. And I'm like,
get any packs yet?
Well, I got packs, but I mean, like, I want to get the big shit. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Like,
yeah. So basically, what you have to do is like tear down the stuff that you don't want, and then then you can craft stuff.
Then you get your 20 scrap, and then you're like, well, this is pretty cool. And it's like, you need 2,600 scrap for that.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is like I save up and earn the 3,500 to get the elite pack, right? Which is supposed to be good stuff. You get it, and then it's like a snub-nosed pistol skin, an Argentina flag,
Argentina flag emblem.
Like, wow. And then you tear this stuff down and you get like 5 scrap a piece, and it's like, wow, that cost me, I saved up 3,500 points for that. You know what I mean? Like that to me is like, I guess that's almost as like I haven't played a lot of Destiny, but isn't that like how Destiny is? You guys bust your ass and then you end up with like the same boots you have or something. I don't know.
Just in a different color.
Yeah. So I mean, like, to me, that's a little bit disappointing. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand the thinking of that. You know what I mean? Like again, because if you bought the season pass, you've got, you spent $40 or $50 on that. You bought $100 version, and the only thing, and you're not getting really anything extra. Somebody that didn't get the 60 bought, except for you got to play it like a few days earlier. Or whatever.
I did read an article that Coalition did come out and say, and they didn't come out with anything hard proof or anything yet, that they were looking into adding more value into the season pass, basically, aside from just the offline map rotation.
Yeah. So they need to, because look, this, and I've seen people that are big Gears fans that are complaining about this. You know what I mean? Like, why do we got to pay another $20 to play as these two guys or whatever? Or they're
maybe what they'll do is they'll just be like, yeah, we're not going to support that anymore. All the maps are just going to be free across the board. Here's $40 worth of packs for you.
Yeah, and it's weird because, like, I think that every Gears game, like, just looking back, I'm trying to think about like Gears 3, right? Everybody gets to play as like Marcus, Cole, and all these guys, right? So why in this one you only really get a choice between like 5 guys to start off with, or 4 guys, or 5 guys, and then like the same thing with the Locust or whatever. You get like the basic. That's it. You know what I mean? It's like that you really don't get. There's not a lot of variety. So I guess like that's kind of complaining. I mean, what do you guys? I mean, you guys consider that like stupid to complain about that? To me,
I don't, because I liked, like, on Gears 3, I had a bunch of skins that I had actually paid a couple of bucks for like the weapon skins and stuff, because it sets you apart from other people.
Yeah, well, that was the cool thing, right? Like you could buy like the glowy skins or whatever, and you knew what you're getting. You paid your $5 or $2.99 or whatever, and that was cool. Or the season pass included like story DLC or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I think that now the fact that they're going this direction is kind of unfortunate, and it kind of sucks. And I also want to talk about this as well with Forza Horizon 3, right? Because this is another game that's doing that, right? Like, there's some good news with Forza Horizon 3. It's officially the best-selling racing game of the year and the highest rated, and they've got 2 expansions coming. They got one coming this year with snow, which is the first time that there's been snow.
Yeah, and that looks awesome.
Yeah, and it looks amazing. And then when you look at what's going on with this expansion pass, it's $35, right? Like, I already bought the $100 version of this game, which comes with the car pass. So why do I got to pay another $35? Or it would be $25 if I buy it this year. You know what I mean? So basically, you know what I mean? Like, is it stupid to complain about that? I mean, I'm an Xbox guy, but still, this seems kind of lame that you buy the VIP pass and you still got to pay.
Passes, you should just get the DLC for the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's not pick and choose. Oh, here's a couple car packs for you. I mean, because realistically, you're playing through the game, and car packs and stuff are great. Like, I mean, shout out to them adding the 1990 RX-7. But I mean, that's still like, how often are you going to go back to that versus, going back and playing an actual expansion, which is something that should have been included with it.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense to kind of do this. I mean, I mean, we're all Xbox people, but isn't this a bit much? Like, paying for
the number's astronomical crap. I mean, and the other thing too is everyone's kind of shaking their head in confusion because Halo 5, and for $60, you've gotten everything after that for free. Yeah, and then you have Gears where it's like, oh, do you want to like actually change the uniform? That'll be $60. It's like it's all. Like, what?
$60 or 3 years of your life?
Yeah, like I'm looking at some of the stuff that's available in front of me, and they have like the one was like $99. I was like, what is that? A whole nother game? No, it's a robe for Marcus. I'm like, what?
Hey, at least you have Marcus, man. I don't even have Marcus.
I don't have Marcus.
Oh, you don't?
No. I have Zombie Dom.
I know, because I kept shooting at you because you look like a damn locust.
I know. I did. But I mean, I really don't know where they're. Here's the thing again. Do what you're doing, Coalition and Microsoft. Just erase the first number. Like, not $99.99. Make it $9.99 or $7.99 or $6.99 or for a cheesy one, 99 cents.
Or break it up. Do this. Get all character pack for like $12.99 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or something like that. I mean, but these are. I mean, you're starting. It's like you're starting at 20. It's almost like you're at Woodstock and you want a bottle of water. It's like you can't get it anywhere else. So it's like $50 for a bottle of water.
Here's the thing, and we know that the buy all pack stuff works really well because you have this like Smite and all those other free to play games where people go and buy this thing that just unlocks everything.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah. So why not just go something like that? And I know they kind of listen to some of the complaints and stuff, and I'm not bitching so much, but this is something that kind of bugs me, especially when you spend $100 for these and you're supposed to be getting the stuff included. You know what I mean? Right. Like, to me, it just seems like I'm not
gonna lie, I spent about $10 or $15 on packs to get the skin that I wanted on Gears because it took me forever to get it.
And then whenever you play with Hellhammer, he's like, gonna buy some packs. You gotta get some packs. And I'm like, dude, I'll just earn the packs. It'll just take me 1,000 matches and I'll be able to buy a pack. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's I don't know. Just it sounds like baseless.
You would have done a lot better on those maps if you'd have had about 5 packs.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, here's $100. Buy the $100 pack.
Well, don't get me wrong. So
it'll be great.
There's people I know that only play Destiny. They bought Destiny back in September of 2014, and they haven't bought anything since. Like, legit, I'm not even joking. Like, that's all they play. So, like, whenever I see them and I'm playing, they're like, I'm like, when did you get that, emote or that whatever or that? And they're like, well, not proud of it, but I bought with real currency, silver or the ability to buy the emote and I was like, and then I did what we were saying. I'm like, really? You spent money on that? And they're like, well, dude, they're like, you've bought like what, 6, 7, 8 games, 10 games, 12 games. He's like, I've only bought Destiny. So he's like, so what if I spend another $80 this year on one game? I like to play this game. I guess I get that, but is Microsoft and the Coalition banking that there's people only buying Gears 4 for the next, 18 months? Like, I don't know. I mean, I know people are like, well, there's whales. That's more the free-to-play stuff. I don't know how many people are still buying $99, elite packs and $69.99, like hat and mittens for fucking, Marcus. I don't really know what's going on. I mean, even if you got expendable cash, like, I could see like a sheik in the Middle East being like, "Oh, too much.
It's a little too much here."
Well, honestly, like I understand the people who do it for COD. Like, I think that's really where this all first majorly started. Was like because you have the YouTubers and the pro COD players who buy like tons and tons and tons of these packs so that they can like unbox them and all this kind of stuff for videos. So I think maybe companies are seeing that, but more or less seeing the money of where like it's being sold instead of actually realizing to exactly what they're doing. Plus, let's be honest, everything nowadays is money. It's just that's what it all comes down to.
I think that's part of it, but to what Crap and everybody's been saying, I think when you invest in the game, you buy the game, you get the season pass. I think for the first year, everything is yours. Like that's how it should be. The other part that we haven't really touched on is like games are taking so much to develop now, and I'm not defending this whatsoever, but it costs a shit ton to make these games. It costs a shit ton to market, these big AAA games. And I think they're just trying to figure out where else they can make the money besides like raising, the price of the game like $10 or whatever the case may be. Because not everybody like buys the season pass. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. But here's the other way to look at this, right? Though you buy the season pass, and you're basically putting yourself out sometimes $40, $60 depending on the game, additional for content that hasn't been created yet. So you're basically saying, "Hey, I'm putting my faith in this company with content that matches what I paid for."
But are they also kind of screwing themselves by doing this as well? Like, think about for future games who turn around and give out the season pass. Are people going to be more like stop and think about, well, if I'm not going to get it for this game, who knows if I'm going to actually get it for that game? So why even bother buying the season pass? Like, are they kind of screwing themselves at the same point with doing this?
Yeah, I don't know. She-Wolf's right, because I got to be honest with you, I can't tell you. The only reason I had the Ultimate Package with Gears is because I bought the console, and that was like, it wasn't my choice. When you buy that Gears console, you're buying that. It's all part of the package. I can't tell you guys the last time I bought a package deal with it, whether it be the season pass or anything. I wait, because here's the other thing I don't understand. Let's get back to the basics and not talk about these elaborate numbers. What about the fact that like they're like, hi, you're at GameStop, right, on opening night, and you pick up your disc and you're going, and they're like, hey, you want the season pass for $30? And I'm like, so what's it going to cost me if I want to buy it like when the first DLC comes out? And they're like, it's $30.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait. I'm like, so you want my $30 right now? And I can change my mind later if I want to buy it later for it's the same price. Like, make it $20 at the counter to get the asses in the seats. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole idea. Who cares if people use the DLC later on? It's just a code. You know what I mean? Like why are you charging the same amount no matter when through the process? That's the other problem I have. I'll never understand.
Plus, let's be honest, people buy season pass because they expect those like neat little free things. Like when season passes first started, it was kind of, you got special bonuses, you felt special for buying it. But if they turn around and change all of that now, where you're pretty much not guaranteed anything, that they're going to charge people huge amounts for other things anyways, then it's like, well, why even bother spending that kind of money on the season pass to begin with, where it's just going to become irrelevant?
You already seen that in like Battlefront and games like that as well. Like that's what they did. They bought into that, I'm gonna get all this crazy cool Star Wars stuff, and a lot of people were let down because of that.
Yeah, if you look at that, and that's a great point, like Battlefront, which by the way, they've confirmed Battlefront 2 next fall. And that one will probably have a campaign and everything, and a $50 map pack pass, you know what I mean? And they haven't even gotten. Here's the thing, right? And I bitched about this, right? Like, I technically like Star Wars Battlefront. I think it's a good game. I think they dumbed it down. It needed to be class-based still, like the old one. They're like, hey, spend $50, buy the season pass. We're not telling you what's coming yet, but spend $50. Literally, they said spend $50. We're not telling you what's coming yet, but we're giving you like 3 or 4 map packs. You know what I mean? And so that's how they work that. Absolutely, complete ripoff. And it's just, and to me, that's kind of what's wrong with the industry. I get that they're trying to stop people from trading games. They want people to buy the game and play and like extend the life of the game. But you know how a good way to extend it? Like, I'm okay with them doing microtransactions, right? For certain stuff, like for looks of stuff, and people will do that, but give the maps away for free. Haven't we seen a huge success with Halo 5?
Absolutely.
Like, that to me should be the template. Free maps keep asses in the seats, and you buy the rec packs. People like to make their shit look different. They like to make it stand out. We're sitting there talking about it like, damn, I spent money on packs on Gears. You know what I mean? Like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we like to make our stuff looks different. You can do that,
I agree with you, Crap, but I think a lot of the games that are out there, just, they can't bring in that huge, like, initial day one sales like Halo can. So I think that they're just trying to look for other ways to bring in that cash flow, like where Halo could just knock it out of the park like in the first week,
Yeah. Hey, Foxfire, thanks in the chat. She's e-begging for me, so I'll do it for myself. Hey, all you people, almost 400 people watching, hit that like button, because I appreciate it, and because it shows that you like the content. And yeah, most of all, just because you appreciate it. It goes a long way. We sit there and
I do. Crap. Let me plug you there, because you know me. I used to be anti it. I'm actually going to change my opinion.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I do agree with Crap on that. I did some soul searching and thinking about that, and I mean, to be honest with you, it is nice to hit the like button, let people know that you like the content. I mean, everyone shows up. I mean, we're very grateful. There's always 350 to 400 people here on a Wednesday night. That's fantastic. But to hit the like button is just let's Crap know you give a shit. Let's all know.
I mean, exactly. Like, I put a lot of, like anybody knows that, especially with I put the most thought into the podcast, and everybody knows I set my topics out to everybody in advance so everybody can look over it. I've got a good cast. There's not you know what I mean? We don't always have to get along or agree with stuff, but everybody's got a strong opinion, is a good flow and everything like that. So it's really cool when you guys hit the like button and, support the channel. We all take time out to do this to entertain you guys. So it is nice to know that you guys enjoy it, and the likes are a good way to do that without sounding too sappy or too much like a sucker.
I throw out a dislike every time. So,
you asshole! Wow,
that hell.
My own brother.
Kind of back to the whole topic, though. I've been sitting here thinking about this. The season pass is usually sold like with the ultimate editions, right? So it's like usually the $100 editions are with season pass. Now, with them giving the early access where you get like 4 days prior, like we've seen a couple games do this now. Do you think that's going to actually become the big highlight of why to buy these Ultimate Editions, and not actually because of the content you get afterwards?
I think that's a poor highlight myself, because that doesn't sell a game for me.
You're saying you're not going to buy a game with that as a highlight, Hellhammer?
I mean, who would? I mean, that's the thing, right?
Quite a few people to be able to be the first to play it.
I mean, unless you are a MLG, like a legitimate Major League gamer, and that's how you make a living, there's no reason for a couple of days early or whatever for an extra $60 or $50 or $40 or whatever.
Well, I mean, just look at this, right? We had the hurricane hit, so we couldn't get in there early. By the time I got around to playing Gears, people had already hit that level 50 in the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so people will pay for the early stuff. Like, I remember I was playing Forza Horizon 3 early, and people were messaging me, how do you get to play it early? Like, is that realistically, I mean, that could be a selling point, but is that really worth it? Like, I don't know. I don't
brutal. He's like, if you're MLG, you're getting that shit early anyways.
Yeah, see, my thing is this, right? Like, getting the early release stuff is cool, or whatever the case may be, right? Like, that's all fine and good. That could be a small sell point if you're getting the season pass, and that season pass is giving you something decent or worthwhile. That's like a thank you, basically. Because again, as I said, when you buy the season pass, essentially you are putting your faith into the developer that, hey, I believe you're going to make something decent with the money that I'm giving you right now, without having a product up front.
Yeah, I mean,
So that should be more of a, hey, thank you for the early release should be more of a, hey, thank you for supporting us. Not I pre-order now and you get this.
Not a selling point.
And pay an extra $40 and you can pay 5 days early.
Yeah, but Oh Snaps actually made a comment earlier, I guess, about this. It is a nice bonus, though. Like, it is that nice little bonus, and people see that, and they think in their mind that, oh my god. I guess when you think about gamers and stuff, I think a lot kind of go into their own little world where they're like, oh my god, I get to be the first player. Not really stepping out and thinking that everyone else is going to be playing it too, because they're thinking the exact same thing, but they're just hyped for the fact that they think that they're going to be jumping on it much faster than anybody else. And
yeah,
plus,
the anticipation kills gamers for a while. They just want that game so bad. So I could see, to Shiwol's point, yeah, they probably want to pay into that just to get it early. I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I see that too, but I do
got to say, it's easy to sell both sides of the coin depending on the audience you're talking to. I mean, overall, just if we were just take yourself out of this conversation for a second, and you had A and B in front of you. A is to play 4 days earlier for $40 more. Myself personally, I think that's ridiculous. I mean, that's utterly ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. I did it with Gears because I wanted the console. It was all part of the deal. When Crap got the Forza And I bought Forza day one. I bought it on the Tuesday it came out.
And it made you jealous.
I mean, a little, but not enough that I was like, I really feel like just shitting $40 out right now. Like, I didn't know why you guys are paying $40. Like, here we are, we're upset that the coalition is going to give you, these skins and a different like eyebrow setting for fucking James and and shit like that for $40. But then you're like, wait a minute. You're like, wait, Playground just gave me time? They gave you some time for $40? Like, that's your time. Yeah. It's our time down here. Okay? So my point being is, listen, there's really no way to defend $40 for 4 days early. I mean, you wouldn't even do that at Disney World. The guy's like, hey, listen, for $40, I'll let you cut in front of this line. That's saving you like 2 hours. You'd be like, fuck off, dude. Fuck off.
People do it, though. People do it.
Well, yeah, but people do everything. I mean, there's people who are like Sony fans. Everyone's crazy. You never know what. Whoa. Hey now.
Sony fans.
No, I mean, there's crazy. There's a column for everybody, right? Yeah. I mean, that's. But I'm saying, like, overall, it's a bit nutty. It really is. You'll have the game. You'll have the game the rest of your life. What's the 4 days?
Hey, I'm with you, man, 100%. Yeah, I do want to slightly change the topic a little bit to something highly polarizing. I know a little something about that. Titanfall 2. Hey. Yes, Titanfall 2 apparently has flopped. We've got some numbers in the UK. It sold roughly 25% of what the first game sold at launch. Even though this one's on the PlayStation 4 as well, which, as you guys know, has quote unquote significantly large lead over the Xbox One in sales. Sony fans didn't flock to it. Xbox fans, you know what I found interesting, Mooch, was that I know you're feeling on Titanfall, and like GKB and She-Wolf, you guys weren't fans of the tech test, and I wasn't either. But there's a large contingent of Xbox, and not crazy ones, not like insane like me or anything.
There are a lot of people that are saying that the game is good, but for sale wise, what Respawn did in the whole backlash of everything, I think it did make a big enough impact for people not being able to try the game early or just with the test.
Now, let me. I'm going to cut you off just real quick. I want to say something like this. Like, a lot of people try to narrow this down to why certain Xbox fans don't like it, right? And it's not the disc thing. Like, people are like, "Oh, it's just over a disc."
It's not the disc.
Like, this is the thing where it's a bunch of things, right? Like, first of all, you have what's his name? Vince Zampella kind of just taking a dump on Xbox fans from the beginning, saying he didn't know about it. He wasn't happy about the deal originally and all this stuff. Xbox fans flocked to this game and made it a success in the first place. So right there, you have a strike going against you. Then you have people.
EA Access.
Yeah, you have the EA Access deal, right? Like, EA Access has been there for all EA's games, even the ones that they don't own, like Yarny and all that stuff, or whatever that thing is, right? Like, everything. So they pull it. It wasn't people got it with the discount because it was there. And then Respawn's like, nope, we don't want it there. We don't want to give people an advantage to play it first or whatever.
Which is funny because it was actually after the tech test when a lot of fans came back saying that this isn't the same game.
Yeah, that's another thing. They brought in pro Call of Duty players that were PS4 players to listen to their feedback first and foremost and made changes based on their thoughts. So that was another thing. Then there was the disc thing as well, and then they kind of poked fun of the disc thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it would just let it go, like it's fine, whatever. But then they kept at it for like days, retweeting this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, day after day. And then so, like, originally I thought, like, people were like, oh, it's just crazy gamers like Crap and Mooch that are not gonna buy it. You know what I mean? I just so happened that I went all in this holiday and I got every game, but and I did enjoy it. I'm saying that right now. The game is good. It's got a great single player campaign. The multiplayer is fun. They didn't have attrition in the tech test. Attrition's the best game mode. It's super fast paced. It feels like Titanfall. It feels good. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. I think the game's good. But I see just regular day-to-day people like Bam, like K-Mega that are just like, Respawn kind of did us dirty. I will wait till it's on sale or something. You know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't the crazies. You're talking about just legitimate people that were a little bit ticked off at Respawn, and I didn't realize how big that was. And then you see the numbers, and you realize
Crap,
that
but I got to say something though, because I mean I got to defend myself here a bit. Okay.
I know. I'm not attacking you guys.
Why? No, not at all. Actually, I wasn't defending myself against you. I'm defending. Here's my thing. Okay. Every podcast, okay, has 1, 2, or the entire podcast sitting there being like, I'm not gonna. We just did it. We just did it for 25 minutes. If you don't believe me, everybody, later on, just rewind the show and listen to it. I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that price. That's insane. Let me put my monocle down. Hold on. Wait, I'm not paying that kind of money for a skin. But then I tell you that there's a ton of games coming out, and I wasn't impressed with the tech test. I'm gonna just play it in the vault. That's all I said. I never said don't buy it. I never said it once. I said I'm not buying it. That's why you guys tune in. People write me all day long. Mooch, what's your take on this? My take is it's a pass. It's a pass. For me, that's my opinion. Hey, why sure everybody else can give their opinion?
Okay. I actually have something I have to ask. Now, I don't know if this is going to end up causing some form of like bad feedback. I don't know. But Crap, did you actually buy the copy or did you get a review copy?
I bought my copy 100%.
Yeah, he bought it.
Best system.
I came home and he's like, I did it. He's like, I bought Titanfall 2. And
okay, then never mind. I have no comment.
That's fine. No,
I was just gonna say, like, if you had got a review copy, then technically your whole outlook to it isn't really.
Oh, I hear you.
But you bought it, so for everyone's knowledge who's watching the show, Crapgamer did buy Titanfall 2, so his opinion is value.
Yes. Okay.
I enjoy. You know what? Look, this is the thing, right? And we're all entitled to opinions. That's the great thing. Like Mooch, he can say, "See you in the vault." Great. If the game comes to the vault, and we'll play together. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. You guys too. Like if you want to get it Black Friday when it's on sale, hey, more the merrier. I do wish more people had it because it sucks playing by myself. I'm trying to talk Hellhammer into playing the multiplayer.
Listen though, well, see, there you go. Thank you.
Wait, because I'm in the middle of the campaign.
That's the segue I needed. Okay, this is what I'm tired of.
Literally in 2 days, Crap, you ain't gonna be playing this anymore.
True, very true. The other point of the matter is this: everybody, and I'm getting tired of this. This goes for everybody. What do you see on Twitter for the past week? Titanfall 2 campaign's fantastic. Said, like, listen. First of all, we get you're enjoying the campaign. I get it. But no offense to everybody, no matter how amazing the Titanfall 2 campaign is, Titanfall is a fucking multiplayer game. And that's what you all are saying is lackluster.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you is, I'm speaking for everyone that doesn't have Titanfall 2 right now. We understand you that own it loved the campaign. You loved the campaign. We get it. We got it. You guys have been doing it for a week. Nothing else has been said. We love the campaign. We love the campaign. Send. Tweet it. Send it. Send it. Tweet it. Smoke signal. I get it. My point is that I'm sorry. It's not a nobody was like, I can't wait for Titanfall 2. That campaign's going to kick ass. No, you want Titanfall 2 the same reason you want Halo. The same reason you want COD. Right? It's a multiplayer game, and nobody, and I mean nobody, has said I love the multiplayer part, and that's where the problem is in the sales. It's not Mooch in the vault, it's not Drew and his discs, it's not Crap and his love in the campaign, it's not any of that. The problem is that everybody, and I mean every one of you, says I love the campaign, and I'm telling you this much. We hear you. And you know what? That's great. But it's a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so what I'm saying is...
I know, but
as annoyed as you are of me saying that 8 times, we've only heard it for a week. We got it. The campaign's a 10, and the multiplayer's a 4, apparently. So there's the problem.
The multiplayer, I like it, right? Like, look, the tech test was bad. The game modes that they gave you, I'm not a fan of those game modes. Attrition is my game mode. I like that game mode. And you can ask Hellhammer because he watched me play it. Is that not super fast-paced, Hellhammer?
Yeah, it was pretty fast-paced, and I will say that because I didn't play the tech test because I looked at it and I was like, wow, that looks like crap. You know, I watched Crapgamer play it for about 45 minutes to an hour one night, and I was like, that's not even worth me getting on it. So comparing it to that versus what I see the other day when I watched him play attrition, it was a night and day difference.
Yeah, and it was fast, and it was fury, and like you're looking around, it's like you literally don't have time to breathe. It does sort of remind me of like Quake or something where you're constantly on the move or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it is super fast paced, and so that's what I was trying to tell people. I wasn't trying to like. I'm not trying to kiss ass or do anything like that. I'm just being 100%. Look, for me, these guys created like Modern Warfare 2, which are these big set pieces, explosions, Michael Bay.
Crap, there's people tonight playing Black Ops 3. There's still people playing Black Ops 3, right?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Write any of them right now on your phone and ask them if they're playing the campaign.
Well, no, because that campaign was awful.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you. Look,
and guess what? PlayStation fans that want to hear me out, write anybody you're seeing right. Nobody's playing Uncharted multiplayer because it's a single player game. Like you watch the Uncharted 4 reviews. Out of the 10-minute review on IGN, I'm making this up, but it's the ratio is relative. 8 minutes is the single player, and it's like, okay, now we'll talk about the multiplayer. It's just the reverse of Titanfall. But here, I watched 1 million reviews, 1 million Titanfall 2 reviews. And the first 8 minutes, okay, if it was a 5-minute review, the first 3.5 are talking about the campaign. And that's not why we're buying Titanfall. Is it why we're buying Titanfall in addition to? Yes, it's important. But the longevity of why you buy Titanfall 2 is because you're going to be I'm playing Gear. I just answered that idiot that was in the fucking chat. I only played Gears of War 4 for 6 hours, Mooch. You're crazy. Yeah, we all understand that you played somewhere between 7 and 12 hours of campaign. But I have 55 hours logged in because I'm playing the multiplayer. Like, this game is built for that. So what I'm trying to say to everybody that's enjoying Titanfall 2 campaign is congratulations. And I'll be there soon, but the reason that Titanfall faltered was not because of me or anybody on BGST or anything else I can put in a sentence that rhymes. It's just because the fact of the matter is that the game just didn't cater right in the multiplayer, and that's what it was built for. It's plain and simple.
They had changed it. Like the tech test was awful. I was the first one to admit that. I played with She-Wolf, GKB, and some of the people on like the game nights and stuff. They had changed it to where it was like it really promoted camping and things like that. It wasn't fun. I admit it. And I haven't spent a lot of time with those game modes going back to those.
Yeah.
But again, attrition was really good. There's not obviously as many like as the AI bots or anything like that, but it is still super fast paced. I mean, it is a little bit different because your Titan will literally get your ass whooped. I remember I called in my Titan, and Hellheimer's like, this is the stuff I should be streaming if I could stream. Because Hellheimer's laughing at me. He's like, dude, maybe your Titan will last longer than 7 seconds. Because literally, I was getting Eiffel Tower when I called in my Titan. It's like, bop, 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 and then it blows up, and I'm like, dead.
That shit was hilarious. You were they beat the shit out of you on that.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, that's interesting. Plus, like, I had some weird gun that only fired one shot at a time. So I couldn't do anything.
But it's things like that tear me away from the game because, the Titans, even anyone who knows me knows that I don't
congrats to 400 viewers. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. I don't actually use my Titan when I play Titanfall 1. Like, I don't ride in him, but I do. I do obviously drop him and let him run around and do the things that, he protects me. That's, what I look at Titanfall to be more of. But at least he survives. So if I need to actually get in there and, defend myself with him, he's there. And he still, has the shield and everything, but they don't have that. And there's just so many, the small things that they changed are the things that turned me away from it. And that's what caused me to not want to buy it, was more or less the fact that, the whole battery pulling out, it just made no sense whatsoever because a pilot can't even last longer than like 5 minutes on a Titan because they're constantly being thrown off and trying to have to jump back on unless you're using the grappling hook. But of course, that's only if you're using that. There's just so many small things that they went too close to Call of Duty that pulled it away from the original game, and that's what pulled me away from it. And we have to, the maps alone are kind of off to begin with, so...
Yeah, they did, you know what, after playing some of the maps, they gave us the piss-poor representation of the game. I'm just going to say that like the maps that I played that weren't in the tech test are much better for like the flow and stuff like that. Also, remember one of my big complaints about the tech test was you needed to be like level 17 to get the cloak. You can just start off with that now. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So it is like.
Well, let's break things down, Crap. Can we just let's slow things down? Let's forget the past 2 weeks. Let's just go back, slow it all down.
Yeah.
What in the world game has a tech test? Like, I don't know, what was it? A month and a half, 2 months before the game came out, and then just changes this much about it. Like, that's normal to everybody? That's normal.
It's not, you know, it's like usually when they do that, they're trying to sell people on the game. So, you know what I mean? Like, and I can understand that. The problem is like, even look at the Call of Duty stuff, right? They did that test, and that was probably what that Infinite Warfare beta was probably one of the worst things I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just awful, like just terrible. If it wasn't for Call of Duty,
oh my God,
I'd be $80 richer.
You know, the only thing that I enjoyed about the Infinite Warfare beta was the what the hell's the name of that map now? Terminal, the remake of it.
Yeah, I'd be $80 richer if they wouldn't have put that damn remastered in there. I swear, because I have no desire maybe to play the campaign and hope that I can get that nasty taste of the Black Ops 3 campaign out of my mouth.
Oh,
because I don't know what that game is about.
I hope this campaign is better than Black Ops 3 because that was like one of the worst games I've ever played. Was
Call of Duty campaign is great.
Yeah. Well, no, not the Black Ops 3 campaign.
Oh no, I mean the one coming Friday. It's great.
Oh yeah, I love the Call of Duty remastered campaign.
Modern Warfare, yeah.
Nothing will be better. Nothing will be better than the campaign that comes out on Friday for Call of Duty.
Go Cubbies.
As far as like the Titanfall 2 and the lackluster sales at this point, honestly, Respawn and EA are the ones to blame for this.
Yes,
I think from the get-go with Titanfall 2, they've had piss poor messaging. They've been talking about a lot of really dumb shit. And then the tech test came. And here's where I think they really failed a lot. This point is like they're all about like selling the game, like Crap was saying, right?
Right.
So why are you putting your shittiest foot forward to sell a game in the tech test? Like, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
And then what everybody is saying now when the final game comes out is, oh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread now. Well, you've already lost me at that point because I played the tech test and a lot of other people, and that's why your shitty fucking sales right now is because we all played it and we all hated it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Really dropping in between Call of Duty 4 remastered and Battlefield 1, which, look, those...
We've seen that with Tomb Raider and all the other games that dropped in that. It was a terrible idea.
Gears 4 recently, Mafia 3, which did you guys see?
Yeah.
Well, we can go back to Titanfall in a sec, but Mafia 3 apparently becomes Take-Two's fastest selling game. 4.5 million in the first week. Just absolutely unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like, especially considering I've heard a lot of complaints. I mean, I'm like 5-6 hours into it because there's so many games. We've had hit after hit after hit. I'm not going to lie. Mooch, you were right on the ball. You're like, I'm worried about Recore coming and then Forza Horizon and then Gears and then it's that was a real thing.
So, I don't know. I mean, you know, I just wanted to touch base on that. Like, I think that GKB said something that we have to stop and think about. Okay, when you go to an interview, you don't dress like a schlep and then turn around to the employer and be like, well, if you invite me back again, I'll actually wear better clothes next time. You can't. You always have to put your best foot forward. I mean, Destiny, let me be honest with you. Like it, hate it now, whatever. That's irrelevant in your opinion on that now. But when they put their demo out, I mean, everybody was so fucking hooked on that. I mean, I played like 25 hours of that demo. I loved it. I played so much of it that it ended up making me hate it for a while. Same thing went for The Division, right? Everyone kind of enjoyed that demo. It was like, all right. But then I was like, everyone got fearful at the end that it was going to be all we were going to get, and our fear came true. I mean, with this here, it was such a bad taste in everyone's mouth that it was kind of like, all right, so out of the plethora of games Crap just mentioned, I guess I'll just wait on Titanfall. I mean, I don't need a multiplayer game right now. I've got Gears, right? I've got Call of Duty. I've got 2 of those. I've got single player. I got plenty of single player. I've got Gears. I've got Dead Rising 4. I've got Forza. I've got Recore. You know, I mean, then there's Mafia. There's other games out right now. So all I'm saying, people, is this isn't a, you know, anybody against Titanfall. It's not like that. What I'm saying is not everybody whether it's on this panel or in the audience, is going to go buy the 12 games that started launching in September. It's not going to happen. No one's going to spend 12 times 60. It's not happening. So you all chose to pick. Well, I skipped Mafia, Mooch. I skipped Call of Duty this year, Mooch. So Mooch skips Titanfall 2, and it's my fault Titanfall 2 did bad in the UK? No. And my point being is, like, you have to understand, Titanfall did a lot of things where it shot itself in the foot, and on top of everything else, they did a really mediocre job of putting their tech test forward, and they did a really, really mediocre, and that's me being very nice, job of doing their PR with the Xbox community. I mean, look, it is what it is. And the fact of the matter is this. I like how everyone's like, you don't know what's coming to the vault. Well, you don't know it's not. So it's it's more than likely coming to the vault. Let's say if your team is up 8-1, okay, in the 9th inning, and you're like, dude, they can come back, Mooch. Take it easy. They didn't win. Well, I'd rather be on the 8-1 side than your side. And in my case, Titanfall 2 coming to the vault is 8-1 in favor of the 8. So that's just my take on that.
Yeah, you know what? It is. It's like there's a lot of games that come out. Like the Titanfall thing, it's interesting because people are like, well, crap, do you really like it? And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I love the first one. I really like this one. I wish that they hadn't kind of put such a sour mood over some of the Xbox fans, because I know that earlier in the year when this game was announced, this was like a top 5 most anticipated game. You know what I mean? And now what you see is people, I don't know anybody else that really has the game. I mean, there's a couple people. They're not people I really play with. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody just kind of passed on it. So it's kind of unfortunate. Like GKB, She-Wolf, what is your thoughts? I mean, will you pick up the game? Why don't, you know, I mean, like you guys aren't looked at as like crazy zealots like me and Mooch. So what turned you off about the game, and when might you guys buy it?
I'll let She-Wolf go.
Are we still talking about Titanfall 2?
Yeah, well, we went back to Titanfall 2, yeah.
Oh, okay. I heard you guys talking about Mafia 3, so I was
we were talking about how that was that came out, and that's like Take-Two's best-selling game ever, 4.5 million in the first week. So I mean, that's incredible. Again, I'm like, me and Hellheimer are the only ones that have that I know. So I don't know. But what is your thoughts on Titanfall 2? No, I was
just that's what I was just wondering if we went back to that.
Yeah.
I already pretty much said what kind of turned me off about the game was this, like, the differences between the first one and the second one, because I love the first one so much, and how different it was from, you know, the average shooter and stuff like that. So, you know, just all of that, and, you know, that tech test did put a really bad taste in my mouth, everyone's mouth. You know, it was just that disappointing, and the fact that we're not privileged to it or whatever, we pay for it for EA access, so to have that 10 hours, I was actually hoping to have that so that I could actually
try it out.
So I could actually play it to actually see how much of the difference that there was. Even if they would have gave me an hour or two, I would have been okay with, just to try it, to see the difference between them, because I am all about, you know, I have to be like shown something. I have to physically see it to believe it. So just having someone tell me that, oh my God, it's so great, that's not good enough for me. It really isn't. And I have to be able to actually see the improvements. I have to feel the improvements.
Yeah,
and they didn't understand give me that.
Yeah.
And
to touch on like She-Wolf's thing, I know what you're saying, like She-Wolf, about like, you know, EA access, you know, it's not a privilege to have games in there, but you know what? I bet you Respawn is rethinking that question right now. I think they probably were like, man, we should have put that on EA access. But as far as like what I liked or didn't like about it, what turned me off about it, crap, is, you know, at first, like, I didn't really care about the messaging. I was like, whatever, I care about the game. It's my most anticipated game, was Titanfall 2. And that's when the tech test happened, man. I played the first one. I didn't like it. You know, they were going to have a second one, and I was like, well, they'll probably give us some better code, and, you know, stuff will probably change. But, you know, matchmaking was horrible.
Yeah,
the game modes weren't fun. Like, we're sitting there playing the most anticipated game, and all we were thinking about is playing Titanfall 1. Like, that's an inherent problem with me.
In fact, we jumped on Titanfall 1.
Right. Like, we just left and we're like, yo, let's go play Titanfall 1. And that's why I said
the servers were bad. And then to top it off, the maps. Like, it's just the maps alone that kind of made Titanfall 2, or Titanfall, sorry, the fact that you were able to get from one end to the other end as a pilot as fast as possible, climbing on buildings, wall running, all that kind of stuff. And they took that. And that's why I wanted the whole EA Access early play, just so I could see the difference. Because
we were on the fence, and we were like, you know what? If we could play it early, we can get the discount and all that kind of stuff, which is perks of EA Access, and that's fantastic. But to see the final code, because the tech test, they didn't put their best foot forward, and I was thinking that when we get the final code, that would be the deal maker or breaker for us, and they were like, well, fuck you guys after the tech test. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not getting that game. I got Battlefield 1 and COD now, so
and we will get it. That's not the question, because it is still the Titanfall franchise. I still support the Titanfall franchise, but it's not one that is needed right now. And I think that is a big downfall. And I think a lot of people were kind of thinking along those lines, was the fact that we do have so many multiplayers with Gears, Battlefield 1, and then, of course, Call of Duty coming, that Titanfall just kind of fell behind the lines. If it would have came out on a different month, I probably would have been perfectly fine with picking it up, but on a sale price, because I just can't see paying the full price of a game that I wasn't too sure of to begin with to play.
Yeah, I understand it. Listen, I'm not sure what the numbers are for EA Access, but let's say that there's 5 million members. That 5 million members could have made up their own mind by getting a 10-hour trial. Battlefield 1, I made up my mind based on, a couple of different things, but the trial was one of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? We got to play that a week early. And I was like,
honest with you, it's hard to say, be Monday morning quarterback, but if EA Access had the early access to Titanfall 2, I'm almost 80% sure. That's a safe number. I'm 80% sure I would own Titanfall 2 right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And they could be doing much better. I don't know. So I can see, even though I like the game and I bought the game, I could see why there are a lot of Xbox fans, and not crazy ones either, not crap gamer styles. I'm talking about just regular gamers. You know what I mean? Cool people, they like the game and chill. Even She-Wolf and GKB, you guys aren't insane like me and Mooch. And you guys were like, hey, maybe we'll get it later, whatever. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And you have perfectly valid reasons, right? Yeah. A perfectly valid reason is, hey, they pulled it out of EA Access. That to me would be the biggest thing, because that, you know what I mean? That potentially kills sales.
And I gotta say, crap. I thought you were trolling there for a while when you were talking about how good Titanfall 2 was. I was just like, I can't believe this, because we were literally playing the tech test together. We were all like, man, this sucks. And you really liked the game, and I respect that opinion on it, man.
Yeah, you know what? I like a lot of people and I mean, some of it was just me kind of just being because you guys were so against it. And I was like, yeah, but I did, and you can ask Hellheimer. I blazed through that campaign, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, this campaign's really good. Do you want to hop on some multiplayer with me? And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I don't. Sorry, Hellhammer, go.
I just like to beat the campaigns on games like that first before I hop on anything. So
yeah, that's what I did too. You know what I mean? I did that, but to me, the game is much improved, and that's not just bullshit. The game is improved. They really, I don't know, who puts out a tech test and then doesn't put out your best maps or your best game modes?
That's my whole thing, is when it comes down to your comment about the whole EA Access was kind of like the main draw, obviously, and then you have Battlefield 1, who brings what they brought literally the next following weekend. You just can't sit there and be like, this is okay. So I think that was my problem.
I have one friend playing Titanfall. There's more people playing Blue Dragon than Titanfall 2 right now on my friends list. I'm just saying, that's not good, right? I mean, that's just not. I mean, I'm just telling you facts. I have one friend playing it out of 51 online right now.
Let's see. What do I got? I got 64. Wait, it's up. Oh, I got 67 friends online. I have. How many
people are playing? It's just a good just to see.
Yeah,
I got one.
I have one.
It's probably the same friend I have. We both have. Same person.
Oh, I got 2.
2, okay.
3.
There you go.
I'm scrolling down everybody here. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, that's not good. Even that right there. I mean, the fact that you're paused that long, the answer should be 10 or 12 or 15, and it's 1 in 3 out of 67. And what's that?
Like, just because I went through what we were just talking about, scrolling down, there's about 10 to 13 of them playing Battlefield 1.
Yeah, Battlefield 1 is on a lot of people.
Yeah, compared to 3 people who are playing Titanfall 2.
I have
161 people on my friends list online right now, and 4 are playing Titanfall 2.
Just in case anyone's not good at math, the numbers are getting worse, people.
Yeah. Look, I'm the first to admit the game sold piss poor. I wish it sold better.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not because it's a bad game or anything.
No, it's not.
And they sandwiched it between.
Oh, yeah, I got a question for you, Crap. I got a question for you. Let's change the tone here for a little bit. Let's change the tone here for Titanfall. Do you think that they're going to have a weekend where they're like Titanfall 2 is free for everyone to play on EA Access?
I would hope that they do that. Put things out.
That's a good idea. Isn't that a good idea?
Yeah,
that is a brilliant idea. If Microsoft or EA or
I'll tell you
anyone's
this much
listening,
again, it's not fair for me to say that if they do that, I would just buy it. But if they do give us a weekend to enjoy it, and I do enjoy myself with everybody, very, very possible by Sunday evening I purchase it. I'm saying that I don't like all of the practices. If they were to make a move like that, I kind of feel like Gene Wilder at the end of fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. One good deed. Okay, if they do one good deed, you know what I mean. It's a lot of these younger people are like, "What? Who's Gene Wilder?" Yeah, so so if they can do that, and then the game is fun, why not? Why not? Like, I think that's all we ever asked was give us a chance to try it. I mean, for God's sake, you let us try Mirror's Edge. Yikes!
Hey, that's coming into the.
That's coming next week.
Like next week.
Yeah.
I was going to say, isn't that coming like November 8th or
November
something?
November 9th, yeah. Yeah, which, by the way, I mean, I played that demo. For me personally, that's like going to a fucking amusement park and only riding the Ferris wheel. That game is boring as shit.
June.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that game either.
That game is boring as shit. But God bless anyone who likes it. I'm not telling you not to download it.
Hey, you're gonna hurt Jamie Moran's feelings there.
Sorry, I'm pretty sure Jamie's got plenty to play right now. But no, I mean, listen, look, the Vault is nothing but a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's $30 for the year, and whether you like Mirror's Edge, all right, I don't like Mirror's Edge, but guess what? I'm an EA Access member. I can download it. I can play it for 2 more hours and decide I really don't like it, and then get rid of it. It doesn't matter. It's a great option. It's a great thing that Xbox fans have. I mean, the fact that Sony doesn't let their people do that, man, you should be pissed if you're a Sony fan that you don't have EA Access. That is a great program.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That is a really great program, and I think that it makes sense to have. They should have had them try it out. Come on, man. I mean, look, Xbox fans, let's be honest. We're the ones that supported this damn game from the beginning. Yeah. We flocked to it. We made it a success. And the fact that I can understand why people are mad. You know what I mean? And I can. Like, I can totally understand that. The tech test was shit. All your reasons are valid. For me personally, I was just like, I got to try this game. You know what I mean? I personally was just like, I got to try it. And so I did, you know what I mean? And I'm happy that I did because I'm enjoying the game. I think that it's really good, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it.
Matty Beast just wrote, I love Mirror's Edge, original and the new one. Faith is such a great character. Matty Beast has also admitted that he also likes Ferris wheels. Yes. Matty, shout out to Matty Beast. Great guy. Good friend.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
No, the game, listen, the Mirror's Edge has a fun aspect to it. The problem is it's the only aspect is that one thing. And when you have one thing, I don't care what it is. I mean, I love McDonald's French fries. But if you told me I only could get 4 orders of McDonald's French fries and sit there and eat 4 of them, I'd be like, So, this is just you can only jump, leap, and duck. I feel like I'm in that. It's like a repeat of dodgeball. It's like duck, dive, dodge, duck, and dodge. I mean, I can only do that for so long, people. But yeah, listen, Crap. That would be. Listen, I'm trying to be proactive here. I'm trying to be. We are huge Titanfall fans. Everyone on this panel is a huge Titanfall fan. If you don't believe me, you can even ask She-Wolf and GKB. We tried the doomed Doom game night.
That's literally doomed.
And first thing I said was, let's play Titanfall. And everyone was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And so if they give us all a weekend where we get a chance to try it, I mean, they just did a weekend. What did they give us recently that was a weekend trial?
They gave us
Overwatch.
And you know what? We all had a blast with that.
Yeah, I had a good time with that.
That was
I
fun.
still haven't bought it, but yeah.
I only own it because I won it in a contest. Shout out to Doc Cupcake. Good man.
Yeah,
great
Doc
guy. Great guy. If you don't follow at Doc Cupcake, you're crazy. Follow him now.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, my point is that like you do that weekend, and I think you're going to get like the community to kind of embrace it a bit. Somebody send that clip to Vince.
Hey, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I do want to change because I got a couple more topics I want to hit. Blue Dragon and Rage both went to backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because I know a lot of people are like, where's the JRPGs? So Blue Dragon is actually a pretty good JRPG. And so far, Microsoft has done a really good job. And a lot of people are like, well, they're really kind of, doing this. Is it worth it? Blah, blah, blah. But they've already come out and said that they're going to all work on Scorpio as well. So, like, having almost 300 backwards compatible games and still having a lot more to come, I think that's great. We're going to be able to take our games with us. And it's not like it's original Xbox where there's no achievements or they look bad. If you go back and play some of these games, they still look pretty damn good. Like Rage. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever played Rage, but that game looks incredible. Like, that game looked incredible back then, and it looks incredible now. I think it looks absolutely fantastic.
I think it comes down. I call backwards compatibility the air-conditioned seats of a car, especially when you live in New York. Will I take it if you throw it in my package? Absolutely, but I'm certainly not going to miss it whether it's there or not. Like, I think BC is great, and I'm only pro backwards compatibility, but at the same time, we just spent an hour and a half on this show saying we barely have enough time for a new game demo, let alone for me to go back and play a 65-hour game that if you go and watch, the game, it is what it is. It goes for not just for Blue Dragon, it goes for anything. I thought when Left 4 Dead 2, crap, you remember this, when Left 4 Dead 2 came out on back compat, nobody was more excited than this guy, all right? Yeah. Got home, popped that bastard in, 35 minutes later, I was like, yoink. Get that out of here. I'm going to play something in 2016. Yeah. Listen, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. And we're about to find out just how potent that drug is come this Friday when Crap on Sunday says, I'm done with Modern Warfare already.
You are not going to hear me say that on NXT mornings.
I spent $80 for you, Crap.
Yes, I'm going to be playing. And GKB, I think, is getting it too, right?
Yeah. Crapgamer already promised 10th Prestige.
10 Prestige.
10 Prestige. I'm doing it.
By February 14th.
Oh, I don't know about February 14th, but I'm gonna go for it, man. I'm gonna just go all in on that game. I'm gonna be playing the shit out of it. And I was even talking to Halmer. I was like, if I can't get people to play with, like on Titanfall, like, I guess I kind of reached out. What's weird is, like, I'm so used to playing with a certain people. You know what I mean? So it feels weird, like, playing with new people. But eventually, I was telling Helmer
this. Your horizons.
Like, I was telling Helmer. I was like, you know what? We didn't like Grave and Snipe. You know what I mean? These people until we played with them for a while. Like, other people can be just as good. So, like, for me, like, some of you guys are fans or whatever and want to play, hit me up, man. I'm looking for people to play with because
I've been doing that more and more. Crap. I've been playing. Me and Bam linked up. Shout out to Bam. So it's usually me, Bam, his cousin or nephew Matthew. I can't remember if they're cousins or not. And then we got Noof pops in. Been hanging out a lot with Livewire. Livewire is absolutely hysterical. Subscribe to that, man. And then you got we just have a bunch of the community members. Timodos popped in last night. Irish Gamer pops in. I mean, it goes on. The Dons popped in every now and then. I'm trying to give some shout outs to these guys. Shout out to the Saint, shout out to the but I mean, I just think that, like, it's great to play with the community. And I know what you mean, Crap, because you do kind of get set in a very comfortable environment, right? Because I've played with you and your friends, Graves, and all them. And, I'm the outsider, but I'm still very comfortable. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, I see the meshing you guys have and the way you guys play together as a team very well. But it is fun to mesh with some new folks.
It took me a while to get comfortable doing the game nights with She-Wolf and GKB. Yeah, man. Because, well, for one thing, you always feel like people are like, oh, my God, it's Crap Gamer? You know what I mean? Like, you got that. And then there's just, like, you're not really sure what to say. I'm like, do I, like, rack them up? Do I sit there and pull a nuke 'em and try to tell a bunch of dirty jokes? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but shout out Noof because that guy's funny as hell, like 50% of the time at least. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like it is weird, but I am trying to expand the horizon. So anybody out there that's like
after 2 hours of Titanfall on Saturday, shout out to Lady Foxfire who just reminded me, we played 2.5 hours of Gears multiplayer. All 16 people that were in the chat, all whoop right over to Gears. We went right till 2:30, and we were just loud, and it was. I'm not gonna lie to you. This past community game night, starting from Titanfall all the way, we went from 10 p.m. till 2:30 a.m. Eastern. That was the best community game night to date. And it's going to be hard to beat last week. Last week was on fire. It was a great time.
And GKB and She-Wolf dipped out at like 12. And so did I. I fell asleep on the mic. And then I woke up. I was like,
I got the kids, bro.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I gotta go. Because I like fell asleep. I kept hearing, "Where's Crap? Where's Crap? Is Crap still in here?" And I was like, "Huh? Oh yeah, I gotta go, guys." So yeah, it was a good time though. Like I didn't get to play Gears because I was stuck spectating, but like playing Titanfall again. We'll never get to play Doom. That game just will never happen.
Hey, real quick,
we're gonna attempt it during the week. We're gonna try to see about maybe.
I got the update finally.
Shout out to Sub-Zero too. Sub-Zero comes in every night. So the running joke with Sub-Zero is he always pops in. He's always in the chat, and I'm like, "Great, Sub, you're here." I'm like, "Get in." He's like, "I don't got that game image." I'm like, literally doesn't matter what it is. He's like, I don't have that game.
Hey, somebody bought the damn game for this past weekend specifically for it, and I felt terrible.
They
I was like,
Doom.
oh yeah, I was like, oh ouch, that sucks because like it took me forever to get a 15 gig update for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough.
Yeah, it was funny though. But yeah, hopefully we can play it, man. I'm down to play it. I want to switch and get to this other topic though. The new Tomb Raider game kind of leaked, I guess. It's going to be Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Apparently somebody left their laptop open with the presentation or whatever. So I think that's kind of interesting. I love Tomb Raider.
Like a bus or a train or something that the dude was working on it, and somebody happened to snap a picture of it.
Yeah. So I guess that did it happen to say when it's coming out, Hellhammer?
No. I think the only thing that's readable on it is literally just the working title or the title. That's pretty much
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Sounds pretty beast to me because what was the last one? Rise of the Tomb Raider? Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I dig it. That's probably one of my favorite franchises, like the reboot. That's how you do a reboot right. You know what I mean? Like I think that's really how you do it right, and I think that's pretty damn awesome. Hey, good. The Cubbies just hit a solo home run. Nice.
They're gonna win this one?
Yeah.
You know what? It's 6-3. It was 5-1.
Oh, it's 6-3 now.
Yeah. It was 5-3. Now they just hit a solo home run. Seems like there's a lot of Cubs fans in Cleveland.
Cubs are they're a big team. They're a big city team.
Yeah, you know, I want that whole curse stuff to end. So like I really am not vested in either one except for I specifically hate Cleveland and all things Cleveland. So and you saw that video I sent you, Mooch.
Yeah, that was funny.
Tourism video. Like me and Hellhammer and the clan were laughing at that 7 years ago when there was like 400 views on that. Now there's like 8 million.
Yeah, like that's a funny video, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Cleveland. Hey, at least they're not Detroit.
Is this a sports podcast?
Oh, here we go. Sports and hardware.
Yeah, I do. It looks like the Nintendo Wii U is about to end production. Yay. So Nintendo pulled one of we're going to let it coexist with the Switch. And then like a week later, they're like, that's the end of the Wii U.
Well, nothing's back compat with it. So what's the difference, right? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, this is basically Nintendo rebooting themselves because the Switch is what the Wii U should have been to begin with.
Exactly. Hellhammer's right. Number two, I like it when a company closes it down, closes that old generation down. How else are you really to get people to move on? Listen, Rabbit Ears worked on TVs until like 3 years ago, and then finally the FCC, somebody was like, we got to stop with the fucking rabbit ears, okay? We got to stop with the rabbit ears. Like until you actually shut it down, nobody ever progresses. We keep staying in this ridiculous cycle. Like Nintendo's like, no, buy the fucking Switch. Buy the Switch. The only way you're going to buy the Switch is if the Wii U is gone. It's got to be gone. Yeah. So bravo to Nintendo. It's not back compat, so you're not missing anything, people.
Yeah,
if you want a Wii U, go get it right now.
It's the right move, basically, because, again, Mooch is right. It's not backwards compatible. I mean, basically at this point, Nintendo needs to reboot themselves and re-image, rebrand themselves basically with a new image with the Switch. And basically, the Wii U was DOA as it is.
Yeah, it's over.
Do you find it funny that Nintendo didn't cut the price at all on the Wii U? Like,
you won't see a price cut until it's more official, and then what it will be is it'll cut back a little bit. The thing is,
they should have cut it back by now. I mean, it's not selling. It's been sitting on the shelf forever. It's like
that's the problem though, right? Like Nintendo stuff holds its value. That's the only thing that is worth a damn about Nintendo. The only thing that didn't hold its value was Wii hardware, and that's because there was like 400 million or whatever. I mean, basically.
I think to Hellhammer's point, yeah, it holds its value, but I also think Nintendo just beats at its own drum, and they don't really give a shit. They're just
that's the thing. They don't have a reason. They don't have a reason to lower the price because look, Nintendo. Even if last year, if Nintendo all of a sudden was like, you can go buy a Wii U for $100, the people who wanted a Wii U already spent the $299 or the $199 for it. And they're not going to get any more sales because they already had a niche market already with that.
Yeah. Listen, I wish Phil Spencer cut the 360 a while ago. I wish they didn't wait as long as they did that. Look at how many games we got kind of like held back a little bit, like the Call of Duties, to this, to that, because they had to make a 360 edition.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Like, even Forza Horizon 2. Look how much better Forza Horizon 3 is.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing holding it back.
Let's move on, people. Yeah. Like, stop with this.
That was the other thing I was going to get to too. Is not having that Wii U out there means that Nintendo can just focus entirely on the new hardware.
If you guys like old shit so much, stop trading in your old cars when you get a new one. Just put your old car in the garage and keep shining it on Sundays. No, you know what? You can't wait to trade that fucker in. Get rid of it. The person who drives it off in the sunset, you're waving and laughing. You're like, don't fucking put your left foot too far down and you'll hit the road.
But don't you guys think it's funny that they didn't try to boost sales by lowering the price at any point? Like they did that with the 3DS. Like 3DS, really stunk it up at first. Well, they lowered the price and then it sold.
Well, here's the difference, though, right? You're looking at the difference of because you can't really compare the Nintendo's handheld market to their console market. The handheld market's gonna hands down whoop their console every single time, and that's because they're literally the only person in town. If you want to play a quality portable system or a handheld system, there's only one place to go, and that's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to go buy a Vita. I owned one, and I owned the 3DS, and I was like, 3DS or Vita when I was playing a little bit of portable systems. I was like, I don't want to take the Vita. That thing sucks. There's no games on it.
Yeah. I hear you.
I mean, basically, Nintendo sold who they're going to sell it to, the Wii U. I mean, look, if they were the hardcore PlayStation or Xbox fan or the hardcore gamer who is playing like Call of Duty and that kind of stuff, even if the Wii U was $59.99, they weren't going to go out and buy the thing.
Yeah, I agree. I just, here's the thing. I actually like the Wii U. I know it's a lot of hate, but I think it's a fine system.
Oh yeah, I like it too.
It has a good library
on that is awesome.
Yeah. So again, I'm hoping that the Switch does well. I'm a Mario fan. I know I'm an Xbox guy. I'm looked at as an Xbox guy, but I always have a place for Nintendo. I'm always like nostalgia is a hell of a drug, but also I'm just a fan of the Nintendo games. You know what I mean?
Nintendo makes games that nobody has able to compete with as far as quality goes on those type of games.
I've already said multiple times, man. I'm getting the Switch day one. So.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, we're all agreed then. Like we're all switching to the Switch.
We're all switching. I just hope that they let us use that whatever that Switch Pro controller is. That's very important. That needs to work with everything. I don't want to take a game home and they're like, well, it does work with everything except Zelda and Mario. Try the Switch controller. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go again.
That is the one thing that did piss me off about the Wii U, right? That thing was like, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna use the gamepad and play that while watching a movie or whatever in between that, and then it's like
I want to say
play off screen because you can only view half-assed shit on there. You view your inventory.
I want to say Nintendo is not gonna screw this up, Mooch, and being like, yeah, everything is, but I'm just gonna it's Nintendo. They could screw it up.
Absolutely.
It's a 50-50 chance. It's a 50-50 chance. To be honest.
It really is a 50-50 chance. Not to mention, I can't wait. Where the hell am I gonna put that toaster? Where am I going to put that thing? Where the hell am I going to put that thing?
I have high hopes for it though, because I like Zelda and Mario. I mean, those are games that I'm always.
That new Zelda game looks great. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks awesome.
I'm excited. I think it looks good too.
Yeah, I'm gonna look forward to playing as Linkle or whatever the hell it is. I don't know.
Linkle.
Linkle. Isn't that the girl? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah. So I know She-Wolf's stoked about that. Well, we're at 2 hours, folks. Can you believe I stretched these topics 2 hours? It's insane.
I think Mooch stretched.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, Mooch, Titanfall 2. Hey, Mooch, what do you think about VR? Hey, Mooch, what do you think about this? And then Mooch goes on one of them rants. I'm like, thank God.
Titanfall 2 alone is like 45 minutes. We even left Titanfall 2 and came back to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there was a lot of people wanted to hear us talk about it some more. You know, it's a polarizing topic. So
yeah, no, hey, listen, I hope someone, hey, what do they say? There's always executives listening. They were definitely listening to BGST on Sunday. And here's my point. I say this: if you guys are listening, give us the weekend. Give us the weekend to try it out. You never know; it may change people's opinions. Me being one of them. All I'm saying is that if EA Access members could have got it, this might be a completely different event that turned out. Just would have let, like you said, up to 5 million people try it out.
I agree. So with that, Mooch, we're gonna let you close out. You got anything to say or share?
Yeah, I mean, we got Crossfire. I do think this, guys. I'm going to do a poll tomorrow. I'm thinking of moving Crossfire till 7 or 8 on Friday, just because.
I said 7 because
the numbers are just. First of all, I noticed the numbers spike at 7 o'clock. We get like 150 more viewers at 7 than we did at 6. So I think I might start a little bit later. My whole thought was that earlier would be better, so people had their Friday nights free. But I noticed a lot more people like to listen in starting at 7. So we may start at 7 o'clock on this Friday and start that up. I'll give it a try. Other than that, we've got M&C Mornings will be on Craps channel this week, which we've got a ton of giveaways. We've got the Wheel O voicemails and lots of prizes to give away. So
the wheel was fun, was good. I like that. Like where people call in, you leave a voicemail, then you're automatically entered to win whatever stuff we give away that day. We gave away multiple stuff last week, and so like Jay Williams has this cool thing set up to where this wheel spins and then it lands on the name of a person who left a voicemail. So leave voicemails is pretty kick ass. And it's really thanks to the couple of people that bought some M&C Morning shirts today. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, actually, last night a few people were playing Gears with me, and they're like, "Hey, my M&C Morning shirt should be here tomorrow." I was like, "Holy shit, that's great!"
I just want to add this in to help with the whole voicemail. If you go to Jay Williams' YouTube page, which you can find through his Twitter page, he actually did a video about how you can leave a voicemail for M&C Morning.
Well, you know what's funny?
It doesn't get any easier than that.
You know what's funny? Me and Mooch were like, oh man, nobody's going to go through the extra steps to leave us voicemails, right? But we got more that way, the other way, and I even
it's just easy because now you go to your phone, whichever phone you use, you just go to your memo. Yeah. You ask your question, and then everyone knows where the email button is on the memo, and you email it to. I don't want to say it right now because if it's wrong, I think it's mncmornings@gmail. But just double check on Crap. Crap always puts it in the description anyway.
Yeah. So I always put that there. But yeah, so there's that. So make sure you guys check that out Sunday. GKB, what do you guys got going on? You got anything interesting going on on your channel?
Yeah, man, I'm just so busy with work, bro. I gotta start doing some more stuff. I just gotta find the time, man. I'm not even like playing video games right now because I'm so busy. But
exposed.
Yeah,
GKB doesn't play video games.
It's ridiculous and how busy I am right now. But yeah, I'm doing something with Blam. We're gonna do the Q&A thing he said on the Shop Podcast. So this week, so I gotta hit him up and see what's going on with that. Saturday Shop Podcast. Tuesday back on the Console Corner, the Xbox Nation. I do want to say like a big shout out to the community. We love you guys. You guys rock. You always support us like every week, and thank you so much. I don't think we say that enough. So thank you guys.
Yes,
that's about it.
Thank you all. And She-Wolf, what do you got going on?
Other than Console Corner on Tuesdays, Xbox Nation on Wednesdays, Ladies Night is actually tomorrow because it got moved from Monday because of Halloween. So it's tomorrow at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time. And then other than that, you can just find me on Twitter and Xbox Live at XShewolfX with an U, not an O. I was going to say an O.
And what's the game this Saturday?
You know what? I'll figure it out that day.
Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, Call of Duty.
Yeah, I guess it'll be Call of Duty.
Let's play Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna play Infinite Warfare. Let's play the piece of shit one.
No.
Who's the Hellhammer?
Don't ever listen to Hellhammer. Don't whatever
It
you
will
do,
be a
don't
form
listen.
of Call of Duty game, so
It'll be Call of Duty 4, and we can play some Ground War.
Yes.
That's what's great about that. Yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah, and Hellhammer, what do you got going on? Because your fans want to know. They're like, is Hell Hammer gonna be there? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, for some reason, you got some fans.
Yeah, I'll be here pretty much. I don't have anything obstructing Wednesdays for the next few weeks. So I'll be here next week, and you can also follow me on Twitter. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. Hey, Newcomb's like, hey, crap. Thanks for the shout out in tonight's podcast. I'll try to bring up the funny past 50% in the future. But hey, Noof, to be fair, I did say you were funny as hell as Arnold Schwarzenegger on the podcast yesterday. That was great. Had me cracking up. He's like, get to the chopper. It was hilarious.
He's very good at it. Like most people say they get me to the chopper and they're good at that, and then they speak after and it's terrible. Like Noof can actually continue speaking like
I didn't even know who it was. I was like, who's the guy that's nailing the Arnold Schwarzenegger impression? It's great. It's fantastic. So yeah, thank you guys all for watching tonight. Make sure I got everybody's information down below. Twitter, their channels, She-Wolf, Smooches. Go subscribe to these people if you like what you hear tonight. They're really fantastic Xbox people and just gamers in general. They do a good job. So follow us all on Twitter and subscribe to all the channels and stuff like that. And I appreciate it. Keep it Xbox. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Rack 'em up, and we'll catch you guys next time. Good night.
Good night.
See you.